Welcome, race fans. It's Hot Topic Sound Off Night, and we want to welcome everybody to episode number 2620. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and this week, NASCAR made history as the Truck Series, Reilly Series, and Cup Series took on the inaugural race weekend at Naval Base Coronado in San Diego. Whenever NASCAR visits a brand new venue, there are questions. Will the track produce great racing? And which drivers will be the fastest and adapt the fastest? Which drivers will rise to the occasion when nobody has experience to lean on? And this weekend answered all of those questions and then some. Across 4 series, including the ARCA Menards series at Berlin Raceway, we saw drivers seize opportunities, contenders strengthen their championship cases, and others leave the track wondering how quickly can they recover from costly mistakes. From breakthrough performances to dramatic incidents and championship implications, Coronado delivered the kind of unpredictable racing that only a brand new track can provide. Tonight, we'll break down the biggest stories of the weekend, discuss which drivers may have completely changed the trajectory of their seasons, and debate whether Coronado has already earned a permanent place on NASCAR's calendar. So buckle up, because there's plenty to unpack from one of the most memorable weekends of the 2026 season. This is Hot Topic Sound Off, and we're just getting started right now. Welcome, everybody. We're having a Hot Topic Sound Off tonight while Jay is on vacation. Reed Scarce, our newest member of Fan for Racing's crew here, and the unmasking of all sports all day, Jake Lassard, is here today. So welcome, guys.
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be here. Ready to make this a routine.
Yes. And Jake, thanks for filling in for Jay while he's on vacation. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me on.
Well, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Now, did you bring your wooden spoon, Jake?
Got it right on me.
Got it right there. And Reed made a promise last week that he's going to bring the fork. So there it is. So we have the fork and the spoon here tonight as we get into some of our hot topics. So I did put a poll question out there for everybody. So the question was, should Coronado return to the schedule for the 27 season? So if you haven't already responded to the poll, we'd really appreciate it if you would respond to the poll. And joining us right there is Hunter Blazer. Hello to all. This was the most anticipated race of the schedule, and my favorite driver won. You know what time it is. Oh, yeah, we know.
It's Heim time.
It's Heim time. That's right. So thanks, Hunter. We appreciate you being here. We hope the others join in as well. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm just going to kind of give you an idea of the hot topics that we're going to cover here today. And we're going to start with the NASCAR Truck Series, then we'll go to the Reilly Series, and from the Reilly Series, we'll do the ARCA race that took place out at Berlin Raceway, and we'll end up with the NASCAR Cup Series. So this, of course, was the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series race at the Naval Base Coronado on Friday. And it delivered a lot of what we hoped for, some drama, some strategy, surprise contenders, and a memorable first chapter for the new street course. at San Diego. This is what we're going to talk about. We'll talk about Lane Riggs continuing his breakout season. We'll go over the race results and the point standings. I'll give you the key takeaway for that. We'll talk about NASCAR's new street course was an instant hit. The key takeaway there. Tyler Wright was one corner away from a career-defining win. He came so close. Caden Honeycutt had speed, but not the finish. Jimmy Johnson's return captured the spotlight. Fuel mileage became the deciding factor, and the Truck Series delivered a strong opening act for the Coronado weekend. We'll have the biggest storyline of the race and the big question of the race. So the additional topic that we're going to add on here is Jimmy Johnson was surprised by the level of aggression in the NASCAR Truck Series race. So that will be our bonus portion for the Truck Series race. So let's start with Lane Riggs continuing his breakout season. And with that, tell me what your overall out of the race was without getting into our topics.
First off, I'd like to start out by saying I was very impressed with how the trucks raced at Coronado. I thought it was entertaining all the way through. If you take out some of those, because I feel like the biggest problem of the event wasn't really about the racing. It was just about how long those caution laps kind of took. It was a bit better during the Cup race, but I thought the racing there was incredible, especially with how kind of draggy those trucks are. You don't really think about aerodynamics too much on like a street course, but the amount of momentum trucks would get and be able to get side by side with them was really, really fun to watch. And I think for Lane Riggs, it's a huge win for him because I think is this his first road course race win in the Truck Series?
No, he won
not
at St. Pete's.
Oh, he did, yeah, earlier this year.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got a knack for these street courses. I don't know, but yeah, I was super impressed with the whole event and overall.
Okay. Jake, what are your overall thoughts? I know Hunter is saying, shoot, I was surprised by JJ running up front.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too. I know I usually give like my rankings the race. I give the truck race like an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a good race. I was really I wasn't surprised by Lane Riggs, but I was like really impressed with him. I mean, we know his short track background. We've seen how good he can be on intermediates, bigger tracks, and then we saw that win at St. Pete. And I wasn't surprised by how he ran, but I will say I was just so heartbroken for Tyler Reif. I watched him since I was 15 or 16 years old when he won the West race out at Phoenix, I want to say, when the Sunrise Fords like tangled, I think it was. And oh my gosh, I saw Tyler Reif coming down before that chicane. I'm like, Tyler Reif's about to win this race. All I was saying is like, don't get scared by Lane. He's not going to dive it in there, hopefully. And he got scared. Lane showed the bottom, and I felt so bad for him. That's got to be such a hard place to be put in. And it was only his 7th race or so, but Lane ran you could tell he was the best truck. I mean, Honeycutt was the only one who could even like compete with him. Chandler towards the end, but Lane was the best, and it just shows how well-rounded he is as a driver.
He really is. I thought the racing was fantastic. I wasn't sure what to expect. It seemed like it was very tight quarters, if you will. But there were some areas where there was plenty of room for racing, other areas that were really narrow, and I was just not sure. And some of those corners seemed like they were really tight corners. So I wasn't sure how all of that was going to play out, but it played out pretty well overall. But I hear what you're saying about the length of the race might be something that NASCAR is going to be looking at if they decide to come back. And no decision's been made yet, but they might want to look at the length of the race. Hunter is saying Honeycutt forgot how to drive, and turn 16 had the most wrecks. Yeah, that was the one just before they came back around to the front stretch there. And yeah, I think you're right. I think that's where most of the wrecks took place. Okay. let's go ahead and go over the race results. I think I have it up here. Yeah. Okay, so let me I have to maneuver between screens here, so give me a minute.
Take your time.
Thank you. Okay, Lane Riggs was your race winner, the number 34 truck from Front Row Motorsports. He gained 65 points in this race, and it just cemented him at the top of the points. The win margin was 1.332 seconds. He led 21 laps, so he was the number one driver. He started second, finished first. Daniel Hemrick started 32nd and finished second. Kaz Gralla, the outsider coming in to race this weekend, finished third after starting 16th. Landon Lewis in the 45 finished fourth. Then it was Ty Majeski. Justin Haley came from 17th spot to finish sixth. Brendan Queen came from 34th in a Ram truck, two Ram trucks in sixth and seventh. Brendan Queen came from 34th to finish seventh. Ben Rhodes finished in eighth place. Christian Eckes came from the 30th to finish ninth in that 91 truck. And Gio Rogero in the 17 started sixth and finished in 10th. Another Ram truck, though, I've got to give a mention to. Minnie Tyrell finished in 11th. Three Ram trucks there in the top 11. So we're going to start with you this time, Jake. Your thoughts?
Yeah, we talked about Lane. Great run for Hemrick. I'm pretty sure he had to go to a backup. There was 16 trucks that had damage before the race even started.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned last week, Kaz Gralla, one of his driver's ed instructors. I got talking about Kaz and stuff. That was insane. And I don't know if you guys heard, it was his first time in a race car in 9 months. He really had, not NASCAR, a race car period in 9 months. Crazy. Landon Lewis, I think he ran top 5 at St. Pete too, which is quite surprising. He runs full time in the Cars Tour for Kevin Harvick. He was the champion last year, and so it's kind of surprising to see how good he's done at these road courses. And then the Rams just decide to turn it up at road courses. I've never thought of Justin Haley as a road course guy. Brendan Queen, Minnie Tyrell also both come from the Cars Tour. I think they both just raced last week at Dominion in the Cars Tour, and they ran great at Watkins Glen, and that's really it beats me how they run so good at road courses.
Okay, and Reed, your thoughts?
Yeah, so serious shout out to Daniel Hemrick, because I remember watching the race. I didn't watch it live, but I was going through it, and I was excited for that last restart. And then at the end, they cut to Daniel Hemrick battling for the lead, and I was like, where did he come from? He totally came out of nowhere. But I was super excited to see Kaz Gralla. He was very competitive all day. He would lose some track position, and then he'd just gain it right back. So super impressed by Kaz Gralla, and I think it kind of shows just how good of a genuinely good road racer that he is. Landon Lewis, he hasn't made many starts this year. I think this is by far probably the best performance. Those Nice trucks had some serious speed today. And Ty Majeski, solid top 5 for him. He needs that result because he's had some. They mention on the broadcast all the time, but he's had such an up and down season. So that's some good momentum for him. And Justin Haley, he ties Colleague Racing's best finish in the Truck Series with AJ Allmendinger at Watkins Glen. Justin, I know you mentioned it. Justin Haley, he was right there at the Chicago Street Course with SVG in 2023. So he's also kind of sneaky good at these races. And also Minnie Tyrell, he had an 8th place at Watkins Glen, and he gets another solid finish here. Tyler Reifman, I was paying attention to his restarts, and young drivers typically, especially in the truck series, they tend to a lot of them struggle and get kind of eaten alive by a lot of the older veterans or some of the guys in Thor Sport. But Tyler Reif, he made up tons of positions every time they would stack those trucks back up. And Brendan Gaughan, I'm actually surprised he managed to squeeze out a top 16, because it seemed like he had a very tumultuous weekend, but this is his first truck race in around 13 years, so super impressed with the adversity on that team.
Yeah, for all the guys that were kind of visiting, Adam Andretti with that 14th place finish, Cole Butcher 15th, Brendan Gaughan 16th, Austin Varco and Parker Klugerman in 17th and 18th. Frankie Muniz, for all the grief he gets sometime, but that's a great 20th place finish for Frankie Muniz. Chandler Smith had the fastest lap award of the race at 134.86. Caden Honeycutt, we know what happened with him. Justin Marks came in 25th. Some of the other, Grant Infinger, another day just went south for him. He was
really fast.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson in 30th. Jamie McMurray finished in 34th. And Corey LaJoy down there in 35th. But yeah, we had a lot of visitors in this race. And I got to tell you, Frankie Muniz beat him.
Yeah. So I'm a little biased because I like Malcolm in the Middle, but it's fun watching Frankie because he really does just enjoy these races, and he usually does a pretty solid job at keeping the truck clean, and he just gets all the laps he can. I'm also a bit biased because I've been around Team Rayum, and they're an awesome team to keep up with. Yes. And I know Parker Kligerman and Andretti, they had a run in there after the race. I didn't get to see what happened, but that was pretty interesting.
You mean just a conversation that they had? Or?
No, not just a conversation.
I didn't see what happened, but all I know is Parker Kligerman was like furious. I'm pretty sure he said he's a disgrace to the Andretti name. And one more thing, Fox cut to an angle. They didn't show the wreck. The caution for Frankie Muniz, I didn't know he finished 20th. I swear he didn't have a rear end to that truck, because there was a caution for him, and Fox cut to the truck after the wreck, and literally the whole entire rear end, when those trucks get backed into a wall and they get raised up like that.
Yep.
I don't know how he finished 20th, because I thought he was out of the race.
Yeah, he finished all the laps too. It looks like 53 laps completed. So
I wanted to mention Chandler Smith, because I was actually very disappointed with his result, because this is the second time in recent weeks that he just kind of spun out in the closing laps when he had one of the fastest trucks. I remember at Charlotte, he was right there contending at the end, brought up the caution, and Lane Riggs wins. Chandler Smith, he was also again right there at the end. He spun out, and then we get another Lane Riggs win. So I guess it helps the front row motorsports team in the grand scheme of things. But if come chase time, those extra higher seedings that he could have gotten from those points that he kind of just threw away, those could mean a lot. And I was really impressed with Jimmy Johnson. I thought coming into this week he'd run around maybe mid-pack, top 10, but he was right there in the podium position for the entire race until he had some issues with the truck. But he still finished the race. I'm not sure. He was several laps down, but I was very impressed with Jimmy Johnson. He showed that, at least on the truck series side, that he still got it.
He was still leading. Finish. Yeah, he still led some of the laps. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the points here. See if I can pull that up. And we want the truck series point standings. Okay. We've got, can you guys see all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Lane Riggs continues to lead by 65 points over Caden Honeycutt. Then you've got Chandler Smith in third place, but he's 128 back, more than a race worth. Gio Rogero in fourth, and Christian Eckes rounds out the top five. Then you got Ty Majeski. He moved up one spot. He's now in sixth place. Ben Rhodes went back a spot. He's in seventh. Daniel Hemrick moved up a spot. He's in eighth. Tyler Ankrum moved back a spot. He's in ninth. Jake Garcia's in 10th. And those are the ones that will make it into the chase as it stands right now. Below the cut line is Grant Infinger in 11th place, and he is a few points back. Jake Garcia's at 279. 278. He's 6 points back. Is that 6 points back? Or 5 points back. He's 5 points back of the cut line. Then he did move up 2 spots, though, surprisingly.
Got a lot of stage points.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stage points there. That's what it was. You're right. Corey Heim moved back. He's not a full-time driver. I don't think he was in this race. Stuart Friesen moved down 1. Some of the other ones, Minnie Tyrell moved up. Cole Butcher moved up just 1 spot. And then Dawson Sutton moved down 1. Corey LaJoy moved down 2. So the big mover, Parker Kligerman, he's not in all the races, but he did manage to move up 6 spots. Josh Reum down 2, and Caleb Costner. I don't think they were in the race, so they moved back. So those were your big movers of this race too. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, so Lane Riggs, while he hasn't been as dominant as Caden Honeycutt, I believe, he's really able to close out these races. And I feel like, not Caden Honeycutt, Corey Heim as last year.
Yes.
Yeah, Caden Honeycutt hasn't been able to fill in that role that Corey Heim was in last year, that kind of Grim Reaper Truck Series role. That's kind of Lane Riggs, kind of with these heartbreaking finishes for Taylor Reif and whatnot. But he's got the most laps led by far. What's up, Jamie?
Jamie's in the house.
Yep. Yeah, very impressed with Lane Riggs. I'm actually also pretty impressed with that 98 Thor Sport of Jake Garcia. He's been great at qualifying this year. He finds himself just in the chase. And even if he doesn't, get the best finishes, he always is there at the end of those races to get whatever points he can. I think that's kind of what you have to do in this truck series. And for Grant Infinger, I actually think this is a pretty good day for him because he has had a ton of DNFs this year that were not of his fault, and he still finds himself just a couple points out of the chase. And I feel like if he can just put together a few races where nothing catastrophic happens, he's going to be right there and find himself in the chase, no problem.
Oh, comments here. Hunter says, the end of the truck race had me on the edge of my seat. Very entertaining. I thought Hemrick had it for a bit. Jamie, I'm going to come to your comment in the Reilly series, but I love this one. Lane Van Rigsbergen. That was awesome. And I thought that was really cool. I'm sorry, Jake, that we're losing you behind the comments here. But there he is. Okay, Honeycutt's car is the best in the field. That's why you've seen him get back to the front after multiple mistakes, locking up his rear tires, etc. So Hunter Blazer making that comment. So I got to find my ketchup bottle. I'm still looking for that. I'll find one. Okay. Jake, your thoughts?
Yeah, just first thing, Corey Heim's 9 points out of the chase. He's ran 5 races.
Yeah,
that's
unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, Ty Majeski, great finish. So now we can, if anyone wants to make any bets about what's their next race, Lime Rock, he's probably gonna have a bad finish there.
Yeah,
like that. I don't know how Grant is in 11th. I swear, like every race he has a problem. At least he got the stage points today. And then I feel bad for Chandler because that was Honeycutt's fault. Honeycutt overdrove turn 1 on that last restart, kind of came back and it turned Chandler. But with the Lane Riggs and Caden Honeycutt, because let's face it, we all know it's going to be between those two. I would more compare, I think Honeycutt is similar to Lane last year when he was going against Corey Heim.
Yes.
Because think about Lane Riggs. He dumped Corey Heim at North Wilkesboro and wrecked himself with it. Chandler Smith won. But this year, you see Lane much more calm, much more collective, and he's doing better. And I see Caden Honeycutt, we talk about he gets pretty emotional. I'm not saying that's his flaw. I think it's that with his over-aggressiveness because he just overdrove turn 1. Not wanting to get Chandler to come up on his inside and get the run going down to turn 2. And he just overdrove it, hit the wall, and finishes 23rd. He wrecked himself, really. And that's why, it's close. And objectively, I think Caden has slightly faster trucks most weeks. But I think Lane is more mentally stable, and I think it shows with his finishes.
I wonder how much of Caden's on-track moves is due to maybe a lot of the pressure he feels to kind of fill into Corey Heim's shoes from last season. He hasn't been able to, do it. I still feel like Caden's done a good job in that 11 truck. I don't think anybody was expecting him to knock off like 10, 11 wins, but I think they wanted to see a bit more ability to close these races, and I feel like Caden might be overcompensating a little for that.
I think that's a good point. Okay, now Lane Riggs did strengthen his championship credentials with this victory this weekend. He survived fuel concerns, overtime chaos, and a late challenge from Tyler Wright to win the inaugural Truck Series event at Coronado. The victory further solidified Front Row Motorsports as one of the top organizations in the series and added another road street course win to Riggs' growing resume. And the key takeaway, I don't have my thing up, but the key takeaway, Riggs is no longer a surprise contender. He's becoming a driver everyone must beat for the championship, to the point that you were making. It seems like Riggs has taken over Corey Heim's place, and Caden Honeycutt has taken over Lane Riggs' place from last year.
A little bit,
absolutely agreed.
Okay. And I'm going to pull up some of my other notes here. If you give me just a second. If I can find them, I'll pull them up. And I hope I didn't lose them. Okay. Hunter is saying, I don't know if Honeycutt really deserves the 11. Oh.
Ooh.
What are your thoughts about that while I'm trying to navigate myself here?
I mean, it's hot topic, so we welcome the take.
Yes, absolutely. So let me put up controversy.
I don't know. I feel like Caden showed that he was definitely capable of wheeling a truck, and he's definitely gotten better this year. And to his credit, he's still second in point standing, so it's not like he's like totally just waving the flag every week, and he's really making an effort. And yeah, I don't know. He has that relationship with Toyota after he that kind of weird situation with Nice. Homer Friesen Racing, they have a huge gateway for all the Toyota teams. Christopher Bell comes and races from time to time. And I feel like it was not that surprising to me that they gave the ride to Caden Honeycutt. And yes, while I agree that he hasn't been able to live up to Corey Heim's standard, I think Corey Heim is just that generational that he's probably getting the results that the 11 car or the 11 truck, had no business in like needing to get, if you understand.
Okay, real quick, I just want to say this. Jamie says, Reed and Jake resemble Jesse Love and Corey Heim. And then Hunter.
Jesse Love or Corey Heim? Who's who?
He can be pretty consistent with good finishes, but he has a lot to learn.
I agree there. I think a lot of people will.
Okay, Jake, your thoughts about Honeycutt? Does he deserve the 11?
I mean, let's think. Nice hasn't won a race in 52 races. They're nowhere where they used to be. And he was top 6 in points for the first half of last year, then did a race with Young, then made it to the championship for Halmar Friesen. I mean, I don't like we talk about, the expectations for Honeycutt in the 11. Let's remember that's a Tricon truck. If he was in the 17, same team, if he had a win this year, we'd be like, yeah. I mean, Gio got one win at Seekonk last year. Or not, oh my God, I'm sorry. Talladega last year. I'm sorry. He's from Seekonk. I apologize. And like, that's good, right? So I think we put like too much pressure on like he has to live up to the 11 truck. Why doesn't he live up to that team? And Tricon, I mean, besides the 11 truck, do they only have one win in like 5 years, I think? So, I mean, and also like who else? You know what I mean? I think he's done really well, but like who else would be better than Honeycutt in that seat? Like I don't really know.
I agree. And if you even just look at his teammate, Tanner Gray in the 15, who's been full-time for, I know this at least his second year. I mean, what about him? Because he's, let's see, he's 17 in points right now. And I can't think of anything notable that he's done these past 2 years. So if there's a guy in Tricon that you might want to question if he does, I don't know the kind of the speed gap between all these trucks. It kind of seems like it's a lot. But if there's a guy you want to talk about, about maybe questioning if they deserve the seat, I think you start with Tanner Gray in that 15 truck.
And he's been there for a year. Like back when it was, what was it, David Gillen Racing? He raced the 17 truck like in 20. He raced it before Haley Deegan did. He's been there for a while.
Okay, I'm going to move on here. For the sake of time, but a good discussion. Thank you, guys. Okay, next up on our schedule here is the new street course was an instant hit. The Coronado Street Circuit immediately produced the unpredictability that NASCAR envisioned. Drivers battled tight corners, concrete barriers, changing strategies, and numerous incidents throughout the afternoon. The challenging layout rewarded patience and punished mistakes, creating a race unlike anything else on the Truck Series schedule. I want to get your thoughts about that. Was it an instant hit? I know Hunter, I believe said he was on the edge of his seat.
I think it is.
I agree.
Jake?
Yeah. I agree with one caveat. The one spoon. I'm sorry, and you probably know I'm gonna have to say it was great. It was a great race, but man, just why can't like the CW or Prime take over the truck races? Just
yes,
like,
absolutely.
They were using an AI like helicopter beach transition to the commercials. They missed every wreck. I'm gonna go on for about 10 seconds. They missed Frankie Muniz. They missed Corey LaJoy. They saw Mozak spin, missed Corey LaJoy. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah. In turn one, the final restart. Oh, yeah. Instead of watching the battle for the lead, let's stare at.
They just kept it on Chandler Smith.
He stalled, and they're just staring at it for 20 seconds. They pan the camera back. We missed 3 turns. And, I mean.
That was my biggest gripe. Because that's why I was so confused where Daniel Hemrick came from. Because I was like, is this for the lead or is this for, like, 5th?
But other than that,
Chris SW3RX, welcome to the show. And he says, preach it. I think he agrees.
Awesome.
Are you agreeing, Chris?
The race itself, though, was for the truck race. I know this series kind of got memed on a few years ago, for being the mess, right? But it was a really good race. And
absolutely, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, even they tried to, but even they could not ruin it for me. It was a great race, great way to start. I know a lot of people wish they'd do like the Saturday, Sunday or Saturday double headers with like Reilly and truck. There's nothing better than a long day at work or school or whatever and coming home to a Friday night truck race. I love it. And I had a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely agree. I feel like the Truck Series is in such a good spot right now compared to what it used to be a few years ago. I feel
Yes.
like the schedule is doing a lot of good things, like going to St. Pete and giving these trucks a bit more the Truck Series a bit more of an identity. That's what a lot of analysts have said is one of the Truck Series' biggest strengths is that it has such a cohesive identity, and I think that makes it really easy for fans to tune in, and they kind of know what they're going to expect. They're a bit shorter races; they're not too long. It's just great to watch every Friday, Saturday morning, whatever.
Okay, here's the big question. Coronado proved it belongs in NASCAR's schedule and may become one of the most anticipated weekends of the season. So, do you want to see it? That was our poll question. Do you want to see it on the schedule for next season in the Truck Series?
I absolutely do. I don't know if NASCAR is going to come back though, just for all three series in general. I thought it really was a hit. The racing was so much better than I was anticipating, and I really loved seeing the amount of tire wear that it actually had. I know some drivers were saying that it was kind of like a mix between Old Atlanta and Darlington, but on a road course, and that's I feel like we need more of that in NASCAR. I just don't know if NASCAR is going to do that, and if they're going to want to keep that slot for another kind of transition race. But I'd love to see them come back.
Hunter says, I take this track over the Chicago street race. Our poll says, I'm going to close it here. Our poll says 83% yes. Okay, go ahead. 17% no. Go ahead, Jake.
I agree with Reed. I don't think it'll come back. Was like the track itself is really cool and everything about it. Like I think it was a really cool. It's like the America 250 thing, right? Now I feel like if you try to come back next year, it's like it's not gonna have any of that. It's like it'll be try to be hyped up. I think Prime will do a good job, but it won't feel the same. I have like a firm believer on. I loved, especially like back in the 2019 like that time where the trucks and O'Reilly would have those weird like one-off weekends where O'Reilly would go to Road America or trucks would go to Mid Ohio. Like there's so many, like we've abandoned so many of those tracks. We left Portland again. Like there's no base in the Pacific Northwest. I would love like I said, it's an awesome track, and I'm afraid they're probably not going to go back. The racing was perfect, but if they don't, like I'd love to see them go up to Portland.
I'd love to see the trucks come back to the Canadian Motorsports Park for the chase. I feel like also for the O'Reilly series, a lot of people talk about how that series has maybe struggled with an identity a bit. Maybe put a bit more road courses that used to be on the Cup schedule that were kind of real popular with the fans. So like Road America, Portland. I thought the racing was great at Portland. It's kind of a shame that that's not there anymore. Mid Ohio. I think there's a lot of market potential right there.
Canadian
Jamie
Tire
says the Fan for Racing Radio Young Guns are very well versed. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
And Hunter says, I take this track over the Chicago street court. Agree or disagree?
I don't know. I really feel like, we haven't gotten many Chicago street races that weren't like disastrous because of rain and having to shorten races. I really liked the idea of racing in Chicago. If we want to talk about maybe, we go to Chicagoland one year and then San Diego one year and then the Chicago street course one year and then something else. I don't know. That's a hard one. I like that question. I really enjoyed both events.
Okay. Okay. NASCAR's the key one caveat: NASCAR has not made a decision whether or not they'll come back next year or if they're going to rotate to a different location. I know they're looking locations, so we'll have to wait and see what actually happens. Okay, anything more you wanted to say there, Jake?
Yeah, I'd be okay if they did like a Chicago street race one year, Chicagoland the next year. I'd be okay with that. Like that'd be, but I think like especially if the Cup side, we never really got to see like a clean Chicago street race that either didn't have normal rain or the biggest rain they'd seen in decades.
Yeah.
And I think like remember the O'Reilly race there last year with SVG Zilich battling. That was a really good race, and barring the hours of red flag we had on Saturday, I think they were pretty comparable races. They both had some really good quality. Like I said, just with Reed, I agree with Reed. I don't think they're going to come back there.
I just think street courses generally, I feel like we've kind of saw a trend. I feel like they just race pretty well in NASCAR. We should look more into that.
Okay, let me ask you this question. It's a question I've had on my mind. Would you like to see one or would two street course races in a season be okay?
I like the idea of just having one, at least on the Cubs side. I feel like if you have one street course, it really adds to the prosperity a little bit, or the prestigiousness of it a little bit. If you have two, it kind of takes it away just a little. You can do what the trucks did. I mean, we had St. Pete and San Diego, and I feel like for a lower tier series like that, that's perfectly okay. But on the Cubs side, I would like to see just one.
Yeah, I agree with Reed.
What do you think?
I don't think having a street race is like a necessity. We've had it the past 4 years. I don't think it should now be seen as like, oh, we have to have at least one. I'd like it, right? Like I like the idea of keeping trucks as like the attachment to IndyCar at St. Pete, but like I know it's a lot easier to market trucks at St. Pete with IndyCar than it would be trucks at Mid Ohio. But I know marketing NASCAR wouldn't agree with me on this. I would agree. I like the idea of getting it. Like we already have 3 Cup races in Florida, which isn't the biggest state. I would love I like to see them go to like smaller road courses like they used to. Canadian Tire. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that track. When Reed said that, my mind just lit up thinking back to Colcuster and was it Nemechek? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Nemechek.
I was so young, but I know.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's TV that rules it, and I feel bad because I feel bad for the fans who go to those races, and but I do want to because I feel like we've gotten to like NASCAR, like the fan base has gotten to a thing like, oh, we have to have a street course a year. 4 years ago, no one ever thought we would ever have a street race, right? So I would definitely say, especially on the Cup side, I wouldn't go more than one.
Welcome, Damian Bean. He says one regular season, one playoff would be fine. So he's saying maybe two, one in the regular season and one in the playoff. That might work. What do you think?
I don't know about having a street course in the playoffs. I think you got to have a road course in the chase. I'm really disappointed that NASCAR didn't do that this year. We tried it with Watkins Glen and I thought it went great. So, if we're doing 2 Charlotte oval dates, you got to keep Watkins Glen there. I don't know what the thinking was there, but I agree with, I don't know about having a street course in the chase just because of how new it is. NASCAR's been going to just general road courses for a while, but street courses, I mean, we saw in the O'Reilly series race that they can be logistically very chaotic.
Okay, real quick, I want to cover some of these other topics. Tyler Reif, 1 corner away from a career-defining win. He emerged as one of the biggest stories of the race. The underdog found himself leading late after surviving the chaos and appeared poised for a stunning upset victory. However, a mistake in the final corner opened the door for Riggs to steal the win. And I know Tyler said he knew he made the mistake. And he said and the key takeaway here is even though he didn't win, Reif showed that he can compete with the series best on road and street courses. Your thoughts there?
I thought it was a very promising showing from Tyler Reif. I was I don't know. It's a little messed up of me to say, but I was kind of expecting something like that to happen on those last few corners. I was thinking to myself, I'm trying to be very unbiased here, but I was really rooting for him, and I was just like, please don't mess up, please don't mess up. And Lane Riggs, while he's not the oldest guy either, he showed just his experience in that series by being calm and collective, and just yeah, just like Hunter said, just what a shame. Was really it would be such an incredible, like, historic feat, really.
It would be. Jake?
Yeah, just how big that would have been for Nice. Alan Nice is a United States Marine, and them being under the Department of the Navy. He was stationed at Coronado, and I think Tyler Reif, like, if we really look into how cool his story is, being so young, winning on the West, and then Tanner Reif was in the West up till last year, and they're both from Nevada, and Tyler Reif comes out here and runs ARCA East full-time last year, and then ran some select ARCA starts on the East Coast. I don't know how that's all working, but like, it seems like he just kind of like took a different literal path to get to NASCAR. And like I said, I try to be unbiased, but man, I wanted Tyler Reif to win so bad, and I knew it the second I saw Lane dive down. I'm like, oh my gosh, Tyler's gonna think he's gonna dive bomb him and he's gonna lock it up or do something. And
it's old reliable.
Yeah.
Chris Crichton is in the house, and he says some fresh faces on Fan for Racing. And also Jamie says it's actually race manipulation if you think about it. What are your thoughts about that? Maybe you need to explain for us, Jamie.
What was race manipulation? Rigs?
Yeah, what was race manipulation?
Because technically, if you saw what the rigs thing, I mean, technically everything's race manipulation because everything's changing the race.
Okay, Jamie, you have to go into depth and explain it to us. We're not getting it. So explain what you mean by it was actually race manipulation.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, we're all intrigued by your comment and want to hear more. So
this is hot topics. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Hot topics. I need to put up my controversy thing here. Okay, so let us know what you think, where you think there was race manipulation there, Jamie. Also, I do want to kind of move on to our next hot topic to kind of keep things moving here. Caden Honeycutt had the speed, but not the finish. The pole winner, he was the pole winner. He was one of the fastest trucks all weekend. He appeared capable of dominating the race. Unfortunately, the late race incidents and restarts prevented him from capitalizing on his speed. The key takeaway, Honeycutt continues to prove he has race-winning speed, but execution remains the final hurdle for him. So, Jake, your thoughts there?
Story of his year. This is about as much as you can say. Story
of his year.
Besides,
the sweet of it.
Besides Watkins Glen, I mean, Texas, Charlotte as well. Now here, I mean, I'm probably missing 5 more. Bristol. I mean, I could name almost every race. Just story of his year. Just comes up short. Yeah.
I feel like drivers that we see kind of go through that, they eventually get over that hurdle, but we see it can take a long time. But I have promise for it just because how often he is running up front. And I feel like if kind of what Corey Heim said after Michigan, that to just grow tougher skin, I feel like that could be good to just mellow out a bit and just kind of close out these races. I feel like that's all he's got to do if he wants to win a championship this year.
I think you're right. I think it's part of the learning curve of the truck series. He will get there. He's just going through that learning curve. And Chris Crichton is saying Honeycutt should feel a lot better now that Heim is beating up on the Cup guys. He should be glad he's not in the truck series except on a limited basis.
Kind of like what we were talking about earlier, that Corey Heim was just so talented that he was making that truck look like, he was prime Jeff Gordon, just Not a lot
Yep.
you can do if you're Caden Honeycutt, but I do feel like, I feel like he's meeting a lot of our expectations. I feel like if he just stays away from social media, that he's going to be just fine.
Okay, moving along to our next topic here. Jimmy Johnson's return captured the spotlight. San Diego native Jimmy Johnson returned to the Truck Series competition in front of his hometown crowd and quickly became one of the weekend's biggest attractions. Johnson ran competitively, challenged near the front, and even spent time inside the top group during the race. His participation generated significant local interest for NASCAR's debut at the military base. And I'm going to tie in here the fact that he was very surprised at the aggressiveness of the Truck Series. So I want to get your guys' thoughts about that. And then Johnson helped legitimize the event and demonstrated how important the San Diego market could become for NASCAR. So I want to get your thoughts about all of that. But before we do that, Chris Crichton liked your comments, Reed. He said, very well said.
Whoa, I'm doing a good job. All right. Yeah, I feel like Jimmy Johnson, I just want to get it off first. He's in the past few years where he's done kind of part-time select races in the Cup Series, he's really struggled. And even in IndyCar, he really struggled on all the road courses. I think his best finish was like a 16th. And then he comes over to the Truck Series and he races top 3. So I feel like that's honestly just a testament to how good the legendary Jimmy Johnson is, and that he's still got the skill and the talent to compete for wins. But I think it would be a lot of fun to see him come back for like another one of those chaotic truck races, like at North Wilkesboro, to see, because if he thinks San Diego's chaotic, which it was, I think he'd have a lot of fun at like a place like Martinsville later in the year, or North Wilkesboro. But it was super fun to watch Jimmy.
I do think this is the last year he said he would do any races.
That's
I'm not
true.
sure if this
I know
was his last race or not, but you're right. It would be fun. Jake, your thoughts?
He said, it was an interview of Front Stretch. I think he left open like a Cup, obviously his last race, next Daytona 500. I'm pretty sure Trucks he left open like more races in the future. Yeah,
cool.
Reed said earlier that like expected him to run mid pack. I can say I thought he was gonna run mid pack. I was really young for his like dominant years. He was like in the middle of his championship arc when I was like getting into the sport. When I was like 2, 3, 4 years old. So I don't remember that all too well.
Wow.
The one comment I can like comment on is how important that San Diego, that Southern California market is to NASCAR. That's what we were all saying in 2022 at the Clash. Oh yeah, Clash was packed. 2024, stands are bone dry. And I think, it's, if we have another huge event, say we had a Long Beach street race, that place would be packed, but I don't think that area really has the longevity that we want to believe it does.
Yeah. Ben Kennedy told us that 67% of the attendants were new attendees, had never attended a NASCAR race before. 67%. 11% were 11% more women than most races, and I think they said there were more of Hispanic population than most of the other races as well. Can't remember the exact number, but there were some statistics to kind of back up some of that.
I feel like that's very positive for the sport if NASCAR wanted to keep moving in that direction and trying to get into some more southern areas. I think that's really good, and that also might be the military base aspect, because I know a lot of those Navy guys went out to the race, even if their station made them wear their uniforms. I feel a little bad for them, but I feel like that market kind of has a void that shouldn't be, because this problem has kind of come from that Auto Club short track never getting built. I really want it to. I think honestly, I think it's a shame that the big 2-mile cookie cutter speedway got demolished in the first place for a short track that hasn't been built yet. I know money is money, but it's just such a shame because that market is huge for NASCAR.
Okay, anything more there, Jake?
Yeah, that I look back and like, oh man, how gullible was I to believe that they were actually going to build a short track there? Now
Yeah.
we look at the pictures and it's like that, that famous like strip of front straightaway, and then just warehouses all around it. It's I don't know. Why did they ever take it down? I have no idea. Like I do agree,
Money.
yeah, I do agree that market could be huge. And like I said, just the only thing I'm worried about is like the Coliseum shows is like, will it be consistent, right? If we make an event there that's going to stay there for 5 years, will the fifth year be at least on par or close to as the first year? That's the only thing I think I'd have to worry about. But yeah, I'd love to see, like, there's so many different events that are cool that you can do down there. So I'd love to see what they can do.
Okay, Chris Crichton says, I tuned into Covino and Rich on Friday and they were on live remote. So that had to be pretty cool, where they were on the ship and giving some feedback there. Okay,
awesome.
moving on to our next topic here. Fuel mileage became a deciding factor. The unique nature of the street course created some uncertainty on fuel strategy. Several contenders spent the closing laps trying to stretch their fuel tanks while teams calculated whether they could survive a late restart. Riggs managed the situation perfectly and was rewarded with that victory. The takeaway, crew chiefs played nearly as important a role as the drivers in determining the outcome. So crew chiefs, a big part of the team, right?
Yeah. Those the announcers, they really I feel like I was misled or cheated because they were talking about Lane Riggs. Like he's about to run out of fuel. He's running out. He's out. I mean, it was sputtering, but he didn't run out. He was there at the end. I feel like
It was
I love
close.
fuel mileage races. I love fuel mileage racers, especially for these drivers in the younger series, because you can see which drivers are starting to develop the management skills, tire management, fuel management, and it's a lot of fun to see what drivers got it and what drivers don't, and what kind of sleeper crew chiefs or sleeper teams can kind of get a better result based on a good call.
Okay. Chris is mentioning that show that he tuned into. They are a prominent talk show on Fox Sports Radio in the evening. I've never heard them do anything for NASCAR. So that was pretty cool that they did this. That tells you how significant this race was for people who don't talk NASCAR, suddenly to be talking NASCAR when they're in town. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, next hot topic. Did you talk about the fuel mileage yet, Jake?
I just have one comment. Reed
Okay.
awakened my memory. Jamie Little saying, like, they play the audio, someone saying, I'm out of fuel. Jamie Little goes, someone's out of fuel. We don't know who it is. Harvick chimes in, it's Lane Riggs. We didn't know that. And Lane said in an interview in like his post race, he was like, yeah, I felt it kind of sputter on the last lap. They said that with a lap and a half to go. And I know the truck has a different type of fuel pickup that's a little bit different than the Cup cars. Don't know many vehicles that start to sputter and then still make it. He made it all the way around again. So like 7 miles almost.
Yeah, it's such a
Well, they
long
do
track.
things like, moving the car back and the truck back and forth.
That's like a gallon and a half of fuel. I mean, I just thought it was funny.
I know, that's a lot of fuel.
Jamie Little goes, we don't know who it is. Harvick goes, it's Lane Riggs. Okay.
And then Hunter says, doesn't the trucks have a fuel reserve button they can click on?
I think he was
pretty
on
sure.
it.
Yeah. I think don't the Cup cars have that too?
I think the Cup cars have it too. Yeah.
I'm not sure about O'Reilly.
I'm not sure. I was just going to say that. Not sure about O'Reilly. Okay. Let's go to our next topic then. The next topic is the Truck Series delivered a strong opening act. Before the O'Reilly Series chaos on Saturday and the Cup Series event on Sunday, the Truck Series successfully introduced fans to NASCAR's newest venue. The race featured veteran stars, rising prospects, strategy battles, and and an exciting finish. All the ingredients NASCAR wanted for the first event at the historic location. The biggest storyline of the race, Lane Riggs survived the Coronado chaos to strengthen his championship campaign, while NASCAR proves its newest street circuit can produce compelling racing. Did Coronado just become NASCAR's next great event? Lane Riggs wins again. Tyler Reif nearly shocks the field, and the Truck Series delivers a thrilling debut on the newest street course. Did that race kind of precursor all of the other races on the weekend? Good publicity for the upcoming races, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like throughout all these like intermediate races, that's kind of what the trucks are meant to do, is hype up the next few races in the weekend. I thought it did a great job introducing the track. I'm not a fan of Fox coverage either, but I really liked I'm pretty sure they got a lot more viewers in for practice and qualifying than they usually do, because it was definitely a newer venue. I just really love the Truck Series so much. It's so fun to watch, and I think they do a great job every week hyping up these races.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah, I think all of our fear was don't be a cluster truck. Don't and it's been a while, but we always
Nice play on.
Yeah, we remember the races where the Truck Series have 15 cautions and it's horrible, and
Knoxville
and Mike Joy's talking about it during the Cup race. We remember those because it's the Truck Series. We like to joke about it and stuff, and we don't remember what happens in the Cup races, not as much in the Reilly. And the trucks did exactly what they needed to do. They put on a great race, and it really hyped up the weekend because I did not want to hear the whole entire O'Reilly broadcast being talking about how bad the truck race was, but instead we did everything they had to do. And as I gave it an 8 out of 10 for a truck race.
Yeah, that's good.
In my opinion.
Okay, we're going to move on to the O'Reilly series. So what was your rating for the O'Reilly series?
7 out of 10 because of the red flags and just because of how it was an almost 6-hour broadcast. And I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for that, the racing itself was 10 out of 10. But I have to take the whole event. And I hopped on iRacing and did 15 laps at Coronado during the Sheldon Creed fan interaction red flag thing. It is so long. It was from 5 Eastern, and it almost got done. I think got done after 10 my time.
Yeah, it was a long race, and that's why I think maybe they need to shorten it. But I know NASCAR's reviewing those kind of things that are happening to say, what can we do to make it better? So they're well aware of that. Hunter Blazers says, longest race for O'Reilly ever. I think the Cup race was the shortest race time.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
They don't.
Which is kind of unusual.
I will say they don't include the red flags in the total timing. So the O'Reilly race only ended up at 3 hours, 20 minutes. Ended up a little over a normal race because they don't add any. They don't count the red flag as continuing.
Right.
To the
but
race.
Time on screen.
Oh, yeah, time on screen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time. So, and you got to think about it being the first time too. And they're trying to figure out, they're trying not to call too many cautions. They're trying to minimize that, but there were certain situations they had to call it. So then you have to get the troops out there to get things fixed and prepared for the guys to go back to racing. So let me go to our hot topic here for the next series, which is the O'Reilly series. Let's start with Austin Hill scores an emotional first road course victory. Austin Hill captured the victory after a late race battle with Taylor Gray and Carson Cavapel, earning his first career road course win in the O'Reilly series. The win is especially meaningful for Richard Childress Racing, which continues to navigate an emotional period following the recent loss of Kyle Busch. Hill's aggressive final lap move secured the inaugural Coronado Trophy and instantly became one of the season's defining moments. Now, we are going to talk about his move. The other topics we're going to talk about is the Finney Sparks debate. We'll get into that. Carson's best chance slips away. The massive 25-car pileup. The Naval Base Coronado proves to be a beast. Unexpected obstacles and street course growing pains. Fuel strategy and survival became the name of the game. Coronado looks like a long-term NASCAR success. And we've got questions we'll be asking all along the way. But let's start with the emotional road course, first road course victory for Austin Hill. And Jake, why don't you go first on this one?
Austin Hill. I never really liked him in the trucks. I was indifferent about him in the truck series. You know, he has a history in the O'Reilly series. Indianapolis last year, I really have not liked the guy. And then that win Saturday for RCR, Kyle Busch, first win for them since then. I was like, man, Austin Hill's actually really awesome. I like Austin Hill. I don't feel that way after the Cup race, but that's for later. I will say objectively, when I think about the O'Reilly race, I was happy Austin Hill won. And he made the little bump and run on Taylor Gray. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good racing. I think Taylor Gray's move was egregious. But objectively, I'm happy for Austin Hill. You could tell how emotional Richard Childress was in victory lane. He had to get towed to victory lane. And I like the victory lane interview, opposed to the front stretch every once in a while. I've never rooted for Austin Hill to win a race until Saturday, until I saw him get by Taylor Gray, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it'd be awesome if Austin Hill won. I'm happy he did.
Okay, Reed.
Yeah, I'm right with you there, Jake. I think we were all Austin Hill fans seeing him celebrate in that car. Just good for him. I don't think he had the fastest car. He definitely did. But he managed the race, beat Taylor Gray straight up, a little bump and run, nothing Austin Hill is afraid of. And this time, he pulled it off pretty cleanly. So, very impressed with Austin Hill. He really earned it, and a little bit heartbroken for Carson Kvapil. We'll talk about that here soon, but just great move by Austin Hill. He also had that damage from that huge pileup earlier. But luckily for him, it was just on his door. But, if Lionel ever decides to want to make a race win diecast for that, it's going to look pretty cool.
There you go. Okay, catch-up time. Jamie Schweitzer says, NASCAR Fan Council questionnaire this week asked if they should return and which series if they do return. I think that's a good caveat to the question. Thanks, Jamie. And Hunter says, this should have been Sam Mayer's race too. And then Jamie says, with acquiring a third charter, could RCR promote Austin Hill to Cup and sign Austin Cindric? We could have 3 Austins at RCR. I think that's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek. I think.
I hope so.
Okay. What do you think about Sam Mayer in this race? A lot of people thought maybe he would win this race. Reed?
I don't know. I know he definitely did have a fast car. Sam Mayer cannot catch a break. I feel like I would have loved to see Sam Mayer and Austin Hill fight on those last few laps, along with Taylor Gray. Those are some of the most aggressive drivers the O'Reilly series have right now. I don't know. It would have been really fun to see him there at the end. I think Sam Mayer definitely would have been in contention. It's just a shame that a lot of the competitors got taken out. Okay.
Jake?
I think it was Brent Cruz's race to lose. I think Sam Mayer was really good. What do you say? He's got to be the worst driver in the history of NASCAR. Now, if I was a real jerk and really didn't like Austin Hill, I could blame it on Austin Hill because Sam Mayer said, besides the catch fence not being there, he's following Austin Hill, and Austin Hill nearly nipped that inside wall too. And then Sam Mayer
Sam Mayer did.
And then just sent the outside wall like 10 feet out. I don't know if Sam Mayer would have won unless there was just, I think overall Brent Cruz, regarding
Brent Cruz is really good. Yeah.
Barring any fuel mileage or something like that, I think it was Brent Cruz's race to lose. And I think if that stuff came into play, which probably would have, I think Sam Mayer would have been shot. And as Hunter said, I think Austin Green, that's a great pick. Didn't he get? He probably got caught up in that wreck. I mean, almost.
He finished top 10, I think. Austin Green's such a good road racer. I know he was fast in practice, so I was looking forward to seeing him race.
Okay. And Jamie says, overall, Allgaier is the Denny Hamlin of the O'Reilly series. UNC still got it.
That happened last week, and Reed said, "Oh, I was reading it, and I saw you, so I just started laughing." So.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over the points here. I'm going to share the screen again. Whoops. Bear with me while I navigate all these pages. Add to the stage. And then I'm going to go over to the page. We want to go to the results for the O'Reilly series. Give me a second while it comes up. Okay, Austin Hill, your race winner, the number 21 for Richard Childress. Pardon me? Okay.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
68 points. His win margin was 1.127 seconds, and he led just 13 laps. So that's kind of interesting. I can get the page to move here now. I went from just right to too large. And I can't get it to come down. Hold on. Usually I can get this to
maybe try refreshing.
Yeah, let's see if that works. I think I have so many windows open. There we go. Okay, Austin Hill was your winner. He started fourth and finished. Started fourth and finished first. I got that much. Then Taylor did finish second. He started 11th. Sheldon Creed came in third after starting 7th. Carson Cavapo 4th. Sammy Smith came from 10th to finish 5th. Jesse Love came from 37th to finish 6th. And we'll talk about Jesse Love and why he was starting 37th. Parker Retzlaff finished 7th. Austin Green did have a good run. He finished 8th. Harrison Burton 9th, and Corey Day finished in 10th. Ryan Sieg finished 11th. Brandon Jones in 12th. They bought Corey Day, Ryan Sieg, and Brandon Jones all came from the back, basically, 31st, 24th, and 33rd in order to finish where they did. And Blaine Perkins has really been showing some strength the last few weeks. He had a 13th place finish. So some thoughts here about the finishes.
Just bouncing off Blaine Perkins here for a second. I heard Jordan Anderson say in an interview that Blaine Perkins is kind of becoming like a sneaky little road course racer. And I think he was definitely there at the end on that last run, making some moves. So it was really impressive to watch. But yeah, Carson Kvapil, I felt like after Brent Cruz, who was probably the fastest car, after he got taken out, Carson Kvapil really turned it on. And then on one of those final runs, he ran the fastest lap of the race, but he just kind of burned up his stuff too much. He didn't have the long run car. Taylor Gray had a better car than him. And then after Gray got into Kvapil, gave Hill the opportunity, and that's how it ended. But feel like for Sammy Smith, he was kind of in the chaos all day. He was right in the center of it. Not saying that he was the cause of it, but he was right there. And Jesse Love, yeah, I didn't see much of Jesse Love all day just because he spent most of it trying to work his way back up. But I feel for Parker Retzlaff because I felt like he had like a top 3 car, and he was really showing it. Viking Motorsports just having a great year. And I wanted to talk about his teammate Anthony Alfredo because he got caught up in that huge incident, and I don't think he got the finish that he deserved at all because he was running top 5 for most of the day. And Corey Day in 10th, he had that fluky weird incident with the manhole cover, and I feel like on NASCAR's part, that's a little bit ridiculous. I know that accidents happen and it's a new venue, but you just cannot have that happen. And
they did give him his laps back.
Yeah, I know. And I know, Corey Day appreciated it, and his other contenders probably did too. But I felt like that was such a weird precedent that NASCAR set on Saturday. I feel like they've never done that for any drivers ever. And I promise I'm being unbiased in this analysis here, but we've seen NASCAR, put their drivers in pretty bad positions in terms of rain and stuff like that, and not calling cautions early enough when oil comes out. And I don't know. I feel like even though it, kind of was NASCAR's fault and it was an unlucky situation, I don't know if you give him his laps back, because we've seen drivers get in the rain at like Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. at New Hampshire, 2021, I believe. They got wrecked based off of NASCAR's part, and nothing. I mean, they didn't get, they didn't stop the race for them to repair their cars. Albeit they were a little bit too damaged. Kevin Harvick at Texas, the rain came pretty soon, kind of ruined his championship hopes. I don't know. I feel like it was just such a weird precedent to set, and it really slowed the pace down of the race. I don't know how I feel about it.
Half the field at Daytona 2022 as well.
Yeah.
Yep, those potholes. Yep. Okay, so Jake, what's your thoughts?
The rain thing is tough. You just brought back probably one of the worst memories of my life, sitting in turn 1 New Hampshire and watching Kyle Busch just slam the wall right in front of me. That's gonna be in my head for weeks now. But yeah, the rain thing, you make a good point about that. I never thought about it from that angle. But if they didn't give Corey Day his laps back, I mean, I was surprised they were able to fix it. I mean, that's the least they can do. And other street courses with other series have had that, where they've had to make sure that all those manhole covers are down. And if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't like they left one. Like, they had, the red flag was so they could make sure the other ones were all down too. That's just that's just NASCAR's fault, period. I'm so happy they gave him the laps back. And I think you brought up a great point with the rain. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. But I think the manhole covers was the least they could do.
Chris says you cost the integrity of the sport when you allow the 17 to get his laps back. Now in the future, the teams will push to get the same treatment. Oh. Yeah, it's always NASCAR's prerogative on those types of situations, extenuating circumstances in rare cases, so that they're not caught maybe doing that all the time, because I don't think anybody would like it if they were doing it all the time. But I do agree with how they handled it. They claim it was welded, just not adequately welded. But there should have been a quality control on that.
Yeah, that should not happen. NASCAR's been doing this forever. Gosh, it's such a shame that did happen, and they put themselves in that position in the first place.
Also, with what Chris said, if we see any manhole covers flying out of the ground at Sonoma next week or Chicagoland, I'm okay with NASCAR giving them their laps back, because I don't think that's going to happen, because those tracks shouldn't have manhole covers. So I don't think it's a bad precedent to set, because that problem should only arise, like that specific problem should only arise never but hopefully only could arise at street courses. So I don't think it's a bad precedent to set. I don't think it's bad.
Hunter said, did the pot cover pop off? I'm a little bit lost. I guess when he ran over it, it
Well,
kind of
So
popped up and it flew. Like Corey Day was like 10 cars back. I can't remember. Was it?
yeah, it was Patrick Starpoli. He ran over
Yes.
it. The manhole cover popped off and just
It
destroyed the grill or front bumper of Corey Day.
It's sticking like out of the radiator for a little bit, and then
Yeah,
it was the oil, not oil filter, oil. It was something to do with the oil. It was the whole radiator and something to do. I think it might be the oil filter. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah, that wasn't Patrick Starapoli's fault. It wasn't Corey Day's fault, and I think NASCAR did the right thing by giving him his laps back. It does set a precedence, though, and so you got to watch when you open up Pandora's box like that. But I think the thing that fans need to remember, that happens in rare instances.
yep.
And not something that becomes a habit. First time's an accident, second time it's coincidence, but the third time it's a bad habit. I don't think NASCAR is going to let it get that far.
Hopefully,
I think NASCAR is banking on that not ever happening again, and they probably already dealt with the welder for that manhole cover.
I think so. Now, Jamie Schweitzer says he's got a silly season question. With funding becoming more important than talent, would Sawalich be a better choice for legacy than Reilly Herbst would be? Reilly Herbst brings a ton of money.
I mean, so does Sawalich, though. I mean, Sawalich, I'm pretty sure his dad is part owner of like the Starkey, but Herbst has family connections with Monster Energy. So I'm not.
They also had the terrible Herbst chain in the West Coast.
Which company?
I know Reilly Herbst isn't like totally popular with the fans, but if we're being brutally honest here, Reilly Herbst is more Cup Series ready than William Sawalich. I'm not saying he's necessarily faster, but he's been in the O'Reilly series for way more years than Sawalich. To his credit, he has shown improvement, and Sawalich he struggled most of last year. He turned it up, but I mean, he's kind of if you take out that, no, even if you leave in that win, he's kind of shown similar results to Reilly Herbst in his last year in the O'Reilly series. So I don't know if there would be a ton of a difference there.
Chris Crichton says, who remembers Kyle Busch grabbing the cable at Charlotte years ago? How was that handled? Probably not as well. And maybe they learned from that experience, I'm just going to say. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I think Jake had something he wanted to say.
I don't remember that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would like to say I'm pretty sure Reilly Herbst finished 35th in points last year. Who's a better driver, Reilly Herbst or Connor Zilisch? Because in their Cup Series career, objectively at this point, they are the same. So everyone's talking about, I hate when people give crap to Reilly Herbst. He's a solid driver this year.
Yes.
Like, objectively, he is the exact same as Connor Zilisch last year, and that's not a question who's a better driver. And I'm going to be I've been brutally honest with Sawalich. I think he's underperformed, and I think, like, Reilly Herbst, it's not like if Herbst was running 35th this year, I think it would be a question. But Reilly Herbst is doing pretty solid this year. I think people were hating on him way too much after, like, last year was like, we all forgot Reilly Herbst existed. This year, he ran top 10 at Texas. He finished like 15th. He deserved like a top 10. He probably deserved a top 5 on Sunday, but he ended up finishing 8th. Like,
which is still a great finish.
We all know Reilly Herbst exists this year. So I think that, and I just I would like, if Zilisch runs how Herbst runs this year, like next year, I think we'll be giving Zilisch praise for having such, like, he probably would do a little bit better, hopefully, but we'd all be giving him praise about having such an increase. Why aren't we doing the same with Reilly Herbst?
Well, we're thinking we got to keep in mind, too, the learning curve of the next-gen car. It took some of the established NASCAR drivers a while to adjust to the next-gen car. So it's going to take drivers moving up a little bit of a time to adjust to that car as well. And actually, they may adjust a lot faster than some of the veterans that drove the Gen 6 car for so long. So that's one thing to keep in mind, too. Did you have something to say on that, Reed?
I think Hunter did about the drunk fan climbing over the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Just like Matt
He
Kenseth
gave him
said.
a fist bump. He
Watkins
didn't
claim.
really say
Yep.
much. He just fist bumped him.
Yep.
Sheldon asked him how the damage was looking, and that's how Sheldon thought he was wasted, because Sheldon's like, "How's my damage looking?" And the guy started like slurring his words and stuff. I thought it was like it's the funny stuff. I know people were talking about like him facing like federal charges and whatnot.
Well, he did.
I'll put it this way though: a streaker at the Super Bowl a few years ago got fined like $10,000. I'm just like, that's just NASCAR. So I liked it. I mean, I expect like, a permanent ban from NASCAR events, maybe a little fine. But I hope the dude doesn't get in too much trouble, because that was funny. And then
I like that they post it on their social media though.
NASCAR will like, they would take that guy to court. They would sue the heck out of him. Oh, but then they'll put it in a promotion. Hell yeah.
About Riley Herbst, Jamie says he is almost in the chase. Chris Crichton says during the 2013 Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, race leader Kyle Busch ran over a snapped overhead Fox television camera cable on lap 122. The fallen cable tore through the right front fender and nose of his number 18 Toyota. And they did not give him a break, I know. And I think, like I say, I think NASCAR it's a different group. It's hard to compare those situations because you've got a totally different group of people who are managing all of that now than who was managing all of that then. So this group of people deemed it was necessary to give those laps back. That group of people did not deem that necessary. So it's hard to compare those when you're talking about totally different group of people that are doing it. And Chris does agree that Reilly is really getting better this year. Jamie says he was not arrested. A hotel guest said he was at the hotel that night. He did get taken in. And they probably sobered him up and gave him a bunch of coffee. But he did get taken in. I do know that.
About Chris's comment, I just have two things. I was 4. And second of all,
I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, of course it was Fox. Just of course.
Yeah. I don't expect anything different.
Okay, let's take a look at the standings here before the time really gets away from us.
Just having such a good time.
I know. Okay, standings. Tyler Reddick is still in the lead, but now that lead, whoops, wait a second, I'm on the wrong series.
Man, we're really behind.
Okay. In the O'Reilly series, Justin Allgaier still leads by 224 points.
He actually lost
over
26
the
points.
Second place driver, Jesse Love. Then it's the 26 points. What are you talking about?
He lost 26 points over Jesse Love because he finished like 30th.
30th.
Justin Allgaier. He finished 32nd. Yeah, so he had a tough day at San Diego.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but he's still way in the lead.
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge chunk he got cut into. That's really going to tighten the gap coming to the chase now. I mean, now we've got a battle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, Sharon, you're muted. Oh, there we go. There she is.
And then now I'm back. I apologize for that. Okay, now then I gotta get back to the page. Okay, Justin Allgaier is in 112. Jesse Love is second. Corey Day third. Sheldon Creed in fourth. Then it's Austin Hill in fifth. He moved up a spot. Brandon Jones moved back a spot. He's sixth. Carson Cavapo in seventh. Sammy Smith eighth. Then we've got Parker Retzlaff moving up a spot. Taylor Gray actually moved up 3 spots. Sam
He needed
Mayer
to
moved,
run like he did.
yeah, he did. Sam Mayer moved back 2, William Sawalich back 1, and Brent Cruz moved back 1. So he is in 13th place. What are your thoughts here about these drivers? Our fastest lap award isn't in this group. The fastest lap award, was there a fastest lap?
Thought it
I
was
don't-
to Carson Kvapil.
Yeah, it's on Quapple.
Yep.
Okay, how come it's not showing
Because
on
you're
here?
you're on the standings. It will be on like the race results.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
had-
you're right. You're right. You're right. Sorry, we're doing the standings now. Okay, your thoughts here.
Yeah, so Justin Allgaier is still definitely the favorite to win the regular season. I don't think that's going to be in doubt unless he has a Josh Berry playoff run from last year, kind of. I don't think that's changing, but good for Austin Hill. I feel like he's been a little bit inconsistent, so getting up there in points is definitely going to help him out. Carson Kvapil had a good run. Brandon Jones, I remember racing at San Diego, and I had a hard time spotting him, and that's because he wasn't in his usual neon Menards car. He was in that backup white car. Good for Parker Retzloff too, but I was talking about his teammate earlier last week about how Anthony Alfredo, he's been right behind him in speed, but just hasn't been able to get the finishes, and San Diego's race was no different. Alfredo was right there, but just didn't get the result that he deserved. And, let's see, 17th. Yeah. Just too bad for Alfredo. But I feel like the bubble is really shifting a ton. Taylor Gray was outside of it coming into this week, and now he's in 10th. So if you're a Taylor Gray fan, or if you're Taylor Gray, you don't even need to have amazing points days like you had at San Diego. You just need to stop getting into incidents and just finish these races, get the finishes you qualified in, kind of.
Sam Mayer and Taylor Gray are actually tied between 10th and 11th.
Yep.
And then William Sawalich drops down to 448 points. 5 points behind him is Brent Cruz. Brent is outside now, the top 12, while William Sawalich is in. Then you go back another, 4 points, and it's Roger Caruth in 14th. And then it takes a little bit of a dip down to 15th at 421, and a bigger dip down to 16th. So, yeah, it's a little bit tight in here between 12, 13, and 14 for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think the path for Raja Caruth's playoff hopes or chase hopes, I have to get used to it. We call it the chase now.
Yes.
Is definitely a bit steeper than it is for a lot of everyone else, because he also runs in that Jordan Anderson number 32 car, and that car can either run get top 10s, or can either run 27th. You never know what you're going to get out of that entry.
Okay, Jake.
I think Raj only has one more race in
Okay.
I think Jordan Anderson. I think that's what they're talking about. Just want to talk. There's 5 points between William Sawalich and Brent Cruz. Brent Cruz missed 4 races this year.
Yeah.
Yep. So I will say what I find interesting. I think I'd almost guarantee Brent Cruz will make it into the chase. I think this will be. I think at this point, what's Raja out? He's 9 points out, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And he only has one more race with the Jordan Anderson. I think they have 8 or 7 more races to the chase. I think this will be the tester moment. No more excuses of, oh yeah, I was in the Jordan Anderson, 6, 7, 8 races in that car, which is probably the best car on track. There's no excuses not to crack that top 12. It's all about who's going to fall out now. And I think Sawalich will. I don't think he's consistent enough on every track type. And if Sam Mayer keeps up the way he's going, I think he'd be the other to fall. I think the fight for the O'Reilly chase, that bubble line, I'd say anywhere from Retzloff to Caruth. I'm very intrigued to see how it goes.
Oh, okay.
So Wallace definitely has like no momentum right now. I feel like that's his biggest challenge. I definitely agree that Brent Cruz is probably going to get in. I don't think Joe Gibbs is happy that 3 of his drivers are on the bubble right now. Hopefully Parker Retzloff, if he just continues to qualify well, which he's been doing, and keeps getting the finishes and not wrecking out. Most of them DNFs are not of his fault. Viking Motorsports is just kind of a weird year. They've been so fast and so unlucky at the same time. I think Parker Retzloff should make it in, but if he has a couple more kind of fluky wrecks, then he could definitely fall out.
To prove I don't say everything bad about Sawalich, Sonoma next week, he pretty sure he ran third last year behind SVG and Zilich, and he won the ARCA West race. So next week or this upcoming week will be a good opportunity for Sawalich, him versus Cruz. And, Sawalich, we all know about, him going to London and working with a driving coach that worked with SVG in the UK. So, I mean, I think this upcoming week will be very interesting to see, the road course talent of Sawalich and Cruz.
All right. Looking forward to it. Playing catch up here again. Thrill Seekers was on the shirt of this fence jumper, so I'm sure it was a stunt and he wasn't drunk, in my opinion, Chris says. And he says, but he did love it. Something unusual happening at the race. And Jamie agrees it was a great time. So, okay. So getting back to the points and our topics here. The emotional finish, you guys did comment on that. The finish did spark a little bit of a debate. Okay. The battle among Austin Hill and Taylor Gray and Carson Cavapo in the closing laps created plenty of controversy. Hill's move for the lead in the final chicane was physical and aggressive, leaving fans and competitors debating whether it was a hard racing or over the line. Expect the discussion to continue throughout the week on this one. But tell me what your thoughts are. Reed, we'll start with you on this.
Yeah, I don't think he crossed the line at all. Compared to what Austin Hill has done in the past, Austin Hill was playing very nice. I think, if Taylor Gray, I mean, he spun out Quapple, definitely not on purpose, but maybe a little bit reckless. I don't know. So if Taylor Gray was upset about that, he wasn't, but if he was, I don't think he would have been justified at all.
Okay. I see you're biting at the bit.
So is there any real controversy about Austin Hill's move on Gray? Because I don't even feel like, now that I think about it, he kind of showed inside, like it was a dive bomb turn 2, but he didn't. And then he did on turn 3. I mean, they might have bumped a little bit, but I don't think there should be any, if someone's, mad at Austin Hill for that, I mean, I don't like Austin Hill a whole lot, but they've got a problem. I think Taylor Gray did it on purpose. He just turned right up the track, right at him. I will say this, though. I mean, I feel bad for Quapple. It was Gray's fault. He probably shouldn't have done that. But there's a guy who used to race that 54 car, and right about now, if it was him, he'd probably say, if you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Jamie Schweitzer says controversy. He wants me to put up the controversy sign. He says, would a new OEM in the O'Reilly series prompt Ford into investing in teams for that series? Right now, there are no Ford teams in the O'Reilly series. So what do we need to do to get Ford back into the O'Reilly series?
I actually feel like if a new OEM, say like Dodge, entered in the O'Reilly series, that it would probably push Ford further away from it, actually. Ford's biggest issue right now is that they don't have their own driver development. They right now they just signed Jesse Love. They didn't develop him at all. So I think that's the biggest challenge for Ford. I just don't know. I like what Penske and the O'Reilly series had a couple years ago. I liked AM racing. I felt like they shown a lot of flashes with Harrison Burton last year. I don't know about Ford. I don't like the direction they're heading in right now, and they're even starting to lose a little bit of their grip in the Cup Series. They lost Haas in both of the series. So yeah, it's not in terms of reach. It's not looking good for Ford.
Okay, Jake, and then I've got something to say.
I don't think Ford cares, and here's why. So you have all these Toyota prospects. We know all about it. All the guys who go through Nitro or Venturini, guys who go through JGR, then Tricon, then JGR and O'Reilly, Sam Hunt even, and all, the Chevy route, right? Guess what happens when they get to the Cup Series? It bottlenecks. And
no seats available.
Yeah. But guess who's going to have seats because they have no one in their pipeline because they literally do not have a pipeline? Ford. So, I mean, it's objectively, it's smart. Don't waste all your money, making a huge – I wouldn't call ThorSport a real development team. They don't have a development pipeline. Why waste all your money in that when you can know that all these young guns who are really talented, who got trained by JGR, who got trained by Chevrolet, right? And now they're going to need a ride. Where else to go but Ford? And, I mean, it's basically I don't think they're going to have a reason to ever, come back to O'Reilly or make a big presence. And, I don't know. Would you consider, front row in trucks, I guess it is, but, they don't
I think I would. And to your point about ThorSport, they switch to whichever manufacturer is going to be cheapest any given year.
There was a 4-year stretch, right? Changed every year.
Here's the other thing that's happening with Ford. Ford's going to have a new body next year. So they're not investing in all of that this year, I think, in order to invest in the new body for next year. I say wait and see what happens next year when they come up with this new body. That's going to take a while for people to get to know. I think they pulled out because they don't want their drivers having to unlearn this car for the new car next year. So I think that's playing into all of this as well. Chris says, Ford is good, y'all. Don't hit the panic button. And he also said, great to see new voices engaging in the conversation and offering their perspectives on the best sport in the world. I also enjoyed listening to you all tonight on Fan for Racing. And then I think I'm caught up with everybody's comments here.
Well, it's a blast to talk about it, so thank you.
I'm not worried about Ford. Like I said, I think they're just banking on what happens. Jesse Love went from Toyota to Chevrolet, get stuck at the top, and I'm not worried about them at all. I just find it funny how they're so anticipatory on this new body. They got a new body the same year JGR did, and I find it hard to believe it's that bad. I think it's when you heard Brad Keselowski saying, "Oh yeah, basically we're just waiting for the new body next year." It's it cannot be.
Keep in mind they got a new body on the Chevys this year, and some of those guys are struggling with it.
But is Ford really struggling that bad? I mean, do we really expect Brad Keselowski to be all that this year? Ryan Preece, no, Chris Buescher is 7th in points. That's pretty good. I didn't expect Chris Buescher to be that high. We know Blaney's good. Cindric's been mediocre since he started in 2020, ever since the Daytona 500. Joey Logano.
Yeah.
Anything.
I feel like there's a lot. There actually is a lot to be concerned about Penske's performance. On the intermediates, while Blaney has managed to crank out a lot of top 10s, he's on the intermediates, especially, he's barely been contending at all. I know his average running position at Texas was 19th, and Logano can't stop getting into incidents regardless if they're his fault or not. Cindric, he's been more consistent. That's one of the things that has been kind of an issue in his career, but they're just not contending as much other than the short flat tracks like at Phoenix.
I think Blaney's the only one where I really look at that and go, that's a huge change. Blaney not contending on the intermediates, but I'm sorry, did we expect Austin Cindric to run top 5 intermediates? Nobody did.
No.
I think the only person, the only way we can really judge Ford is Ryan Blaney. I think that's about all you can do in the Cup Series now with Ford.
Chris says you nailed that hot take, Jake. He also said, remember, they inherited Brad Kay and Joey years ago when Dodge dissolved. That produced BK Racing and Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe.
Ooh,
Only one
BK
stayed
Racing.
with the manufacturer. Yeah, remember that? And then Jamie says, I could see Team Penske going back with Dodge if the deal is right for the captain. So that's something to be said too. So
I think Colleague Racing is going to be that first Dodge team. I remember hearing a point. We're kind of away from the O'Reilly series right now, but
we've gotten way away from it. I've got to get back on track.
yeah.
Okay.
But do you want me to finish the point? Or
Yeah,
you just
go
want
ahead
to
and
go
finish your thought, but then
okay, so I heard that Colleague Racing could be looking to sell their Cup Series charters and then get those 4 charters that NASCAR has in reserve for new manufacturers entering the sport. And they would gain, and what charters are like $100 million each now, so that's like a $200 million like grant pretty much in there, and for their race team.
wow. But then all the teams had that at the very beginning too, when they first came to charters. Okay, Carson Cavapo's best chance slips away. He appeared to have one of the fastest cars in the field and looked capable of winning the historic race. Instead, the late race contact and positioning battles left him frustrated with his 4th place finish. Despite the disappointment, Cavapo showed he remains a legitimate championship contender and road course threat. How much of a threat do you think he is when the chase comes around?
I'll have Jake go first this time.
It all depends about, because like with the new like cup bushwhacking like rules, Zilich should still be able to come down in the chase because he's had less than 3 years in cup. So I'm pretty sure. So if Zilich, I'll put it this way, if Coapel has a single race in that 91, there's not a chance. Also, he's like 7th in points. I really see it as the top 4 or 5 are the only ones who realistically have a chance to actually win the championship, unless you go on like an insane tear. And there's only 2 drivers I can see doing that. It's Allgaier and maybe Jesse Love. I can't see Coapel because I think he still has a few more in the 91 before the end of the regular season. I can't see him even in the 1 for 10 races. He hasn't shown us that he can go on a crazy tear to make up. What would it be if he stays in 7th in points? That's a big if. That's like 65, 70 points he's starting behind probably Allgaier. I don't know if he can make that up on just an Allgaier, but I think he'll be. I can't see him getting close to that championship.
Well, remember the points reset when the chase begins too.
Yeah, but he'll be 60.
He'll still have that 25-point advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, then it goes down to like 50 or 55, and then goes
down
5
to 10. Yeah,
it goes
and
down
then
like that. So he'll be almost a full, if not more than a full race behind Justin Allgaier. And I don't know if you can make up that many points on Justin. Any other driver, sure. No, I don't know about Justin Allgaier, especially the way we've seen him. Unless Coronado's in the chase, which last time I checked the schedule, it's not.
Okay, Reed.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there because even if Zilich does come down, I feel like it's pretty likely that they just push Coapel over to that 9. I don't know what his schedule looks like, but even then, that 9 junior motorsports car is not the fastest, other than Shane Van Gisbergen on these road courses. So I think Coapel will be there. I think he'll definitely be in contention to steal one of these races. And we say steal, but I feel like he's gonna be in the chase. If he can get I don't know, if he can upset for a couple of wins, remember wins pay more. He could maybe make a run for it. I agree though. I feel like Allgaier is still the guy to beat, but I don't think this is a season that you would be disappointed at. If you're Carson Coapel, because he's kind of like with Caden Honeycutt, you just got to learn to execute these races. I think back to Phoenix, I think he had the best car there. And then at San Diego Saturday, ran the fastest lap. He had an insane short run car. Just he burned up his tires and used up his stuff. So I think that's just got to be the one thing he works on.
Okay, now the massive 25-car pileup. The defining image of NASCAR came on lap 34 when Sam Mayer clipped the inside wall, triggering a chain reaction that collected 25 cars. The crash brought out a lengthy red flag while safety crews repaired barriers and cleared damaged vehicles. Thankfully, drivers involved were evaluated and released, but the wreck dramatically altered the outcome of the race and eliminated many contenders. So I know we kind of touched on this at the beginning of the show. So what would you do differently there to avoid that kind of a pileup?
I don't know. Just don't get into the inside wall there.
He did take ownership of it.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's it. I mean, that's the thing with these street courses is that, on a road course, all the cars, they spin out. On a street course, they come back into the field. And that kind of ruined the race for a ton of guys, even the guys that we don't talk about winning the race. Brent Cruz specifically, really tough for him. We talked about him on last week's show that he's gonna get a win eventually. I felt like Coronado was probably his best opportunity since just came up short again. Nothing of his own doing. And it's a Wallach's day that definitely hurt him in points, and it hurt Sam Mayer in points. So not just did it alter the race, it very much impacted the championship standings.
Jake?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you can really do to avoid it. The only thing you could ever do to avoid it is take Sam Mayer up on his offer and just strip him of his O'Reilly eligibility, seeing he's the worst driver ever in NASCAR. I don't know. There's the wall thing, it's a good thing that I was joking. I was joking off of what he said. He said he was the worst driver. I like Sam Mayer. But the only thing you can do to stop that wall from going out 10 feet is to make it solid concrete. And if that happens, there's a good chance Sam Mayer and Anthony Alfredo weren't having post-race interviews. So yes, is the hour-long red flag grueling and annoying? Yeah, but I'd rather that than some other storyline because yes. It's a miracle Sam Mayer was okay.
Such a hard hit.
10 feet. Imagine that wall, no safer barrier, just straight concrete like the outside walls of these tracks. After the safer barrier, that's.
And those barriers were designed to give way in those kind of situations.
They were so busy on that they forgot about the manholes. But good job. That's really smart of them about the walls turning out. Yeah.
Okay. You make me laugh sometimes, buddy.
There we go.
Okay. In a good way. Okay.
We're laughing with you.
Yes, exactly. And he says, spot on, Jake. We're agreeing with you. It's so well said that it's comical in a way. Okay, so let's move on to the next hot topic. The Naval Base Coronado proves to be a beast. The 3.4-mile, 16-turn street course challenged drivers all weekend. Concrete walls, narrow racing lanes, and limited runoff produced mistakes from practice through the race itself. The track quickly earned a reputation of one of NASCAR's toughest venues and delivered the kind of unpredictability that NASCAR hoped for in its debut. But the question here, there's a question that goes along with this. Did Coronado should they make changes to the Coronado street course before 2027 if it returns? What kind of changes would you see?
Add a catch fence to the inside wall of turn 1. That's about it.
I agree with Jake there.
That's what
that's all I got to say.
Okay, so add a catch fence. You wouldn't shorten the race or anything like that?
Personally, I like those shorter road course tracks. You know, it's good for the fans too. They get to see the cars come by more because they'll increase the lap count. I know that was a popular change at Coda, but also I feel like it really was just the racing really was just so good. Unlike it was at Coda those first couple years, like 2024 was kind of a boring race, but it's kind of like if it's not broken, don't fix it. I felt like San Diego had a good thing. I think you just gotta keep it if it comes back. I don't think it will, but if it does, I don't want them to change it other than that catch run.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay,
I think,
flag of caution is Chris. He says refreshing to hear. And Jamie says, make it harder to walk on the track. Yes.
No,
Yeah.
take it away. Let them all come in.
No,
take out all the catch fences.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Only other thing I can think of is and it was I think it was Hunter brought up at the start, and I was meant to say something then, but turn 16 he talked about might have been the hardest corner of the track. I agree for the truck series, but we never saw a problem with that. I mean, besides practice maybe. In Cup and O'Reilly, that bump in turn 16 was only a problem in the truck race, and everyone hit it. So maybe find it if the trucks come back, barring if any of it comes back at all. Maybe fix that bump because like everyone hit it, and like McMurray, I could tell kind of took a weird angle, but Tyler Ankrum, the truck went like this and then just shot at the wall like crazy.
Yeah.
And it was weird to me because it was only a problem in the trucks really, but that's the only other thing I can think of.
Well, that thanks for bringing that up though, because he did bring that up as well. Okay. Unexpected obstacles and street course growing pains. Street course racing brought unique challenges, including the opening lap caution after Corey Day struck that track cover, or manhole cover, damaging his car and creating an early interruption. The race also featured multiple cautions, red flags, and infrastructure issues that highlighted the learning curve associated with the first year of the event. But if there's one thing we've learned from NASCAR, and that is that they take notes and try to fix those kind of things. And I think I've already asked this: what changes would you suggest if they do come back when it comes to some of those obstacles?
Because we already talked about it. Let's get some more. Let's get some ramps that the cars can jump off of on. Make it fun for the fans.
Whoa, ramps?
Yep. Dirt ramps for monster trucks.
Flag of caution says inner and outer walls make the street course much more fun to watch. I agree. Yeah. But ramps, I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm glad you don't agree with that.
Yeah, that I'm not buying. Okay. Now, next hot topic, because we did kind of already talk about that. Fuel strategy and survival become name of the game with repeated cautions, red flags, and changing track conditions. Strategy became just as important as speed. Teams constantly adjusted fuel calculations and tire management plans. In fact, I think was it the Cup Series race, they gave them more tires. That created uncertainty all the way to the finish. Those who survived the chaos found themselves in position to contend for the win. So on this one, how would you rank this race? How would you rank the O'Reilly Series race? I know, Jake, you gave it a 7 out of 10.
I'll go 6.5. It was just like I'm with you that Jake. I really did love the racing. I can't get over those interruptions. Like it really did affect my viewing of it, and I bet it did for a lot of the fans that came. You said there were a lot of new fans. I bet that probably soured the taste a little bit for their first race.
Yeah. Jamie Schweitzer said he would make it a figure 8 race.
Woo! Let's do it.
That would be something with these cars. Okay. So yeah, Jake, anything you have to say on that? Oh, well, you gave your ranking already.
Yeah, and I was to say, if you didn't repeat that, I totally forgot we were talking about. All I was thinking about was a figure 8 race with ramps.
With ramps. Okay, you guys are getting wild and crazy on me now.
Yeah.
Okay, our next topic here, Coronado looks like a long-term NASCAR success. Despite the mayhem, the event generated tremendous buzz. NASCAR's first race on an active military base delivered memorable visuals, packed grandstands, dramatic racing, and plenty of storylines. If the goal was to create a signature event, Coronado's inaugural weekend appears to have accomplished exactly that. So the question on this one is, did NASCAR check all the boxes for the events for you? And I'm going to add another question here. If we don't come back to Coronado, is there another military base or another location that you would recommend for a street course race? Jake, let's start with you here.
Okay.
Another military base? I don't know. I feel like that'd be a little too like cut and paste. So like say we had to replace this race with another track next year. I like 5 road courses on the schedule. I like 4 regular season, 1 chase. So in that case, like I like keeping Chicago. Like so say we switch to Chicago Street Course. I would love to, and I don't think it could because it just doesn't seem like the venue's big enough. But Cup at Portland, I mean, has there ever been like a NASCAR Cup Series race in the Pacific Northwest?
Not that I remember.
Farthest we go is Sonoma. I'd love to see Portland, but like realistic Road America, because like that event, like I know the viewership on TV wasn't great, but oh my gosh, the amount of people that were there, wild. It was just insane. Yeah, Portland would be cool. I just when you look at that like track and like the land surrounding it, I don't know if they would be able to hold a Cup race. But then again, we didn't think Naval Base Coronado would be able to hold a Cup race, and it did.
And even for a while, Limebrock, there were questions about being able to hold Truck Series race.
I definitely don't think Cup could go there. I've been to Limebrock.
I agree. Yeah,
I don't think Cup could go there.
Jamie Schweitzer says the base at Pearl City in Hawaii.
That'd be fun.
I think the haulers would have a tough time getting there.
I think the haulers would have a very difficult time. I think that would be extremely costly.
Huge market though. Like, let's be real there. I've got, so here's my idea. I would love to see the Cup Series and the O'Reilly Series. Maybe the trucks race in Montreal. I feel like the O'Reilly cars, they used to do that. I remember in 2011, I was a young and little boy. I got to see Marcus Ambrose win. I was not happy about that for some reason. I don't know why, but it was a good race. And I feel like the Cup cars would race wonderfully there. And I feel like NASCAR's kind of abandoned that Canadian market when there are a ton of Canadian NASCAR fans. I'd love to see them. But if it's like another 4th of July thing, don't go to Montreal. Give it to another road course state. But I would love to see Montreal on the schedule.
Flag of caution, Chris says Las Vegas, LA, New York, Toronto. He lists a. How about a track around them? How about a track around them?
Is he talking about the Thames, like the river in Europe? He was saying like it would be cool. I think I thought of this after he said that. Like if NASCAR went full blown Canada for a weekend, you do Cup and O'Reilly at like what's it called, Circuit de Giles to Villeneuve, and then pull the trucks to Canadian Tire, so you get the Quebec NASCAR audience. They'd probably bring in all the Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland, and I forget the other one, New Brunswick, and then you have your Ontario and maybe even like Manitoba crowd going to the truck race in Ontario.
He says, how about a track around the Statue of Liberty?
That'd be a great July 4th race.
That would be a short track. Probably still be bigger than Bowman Gray.
Yeah, that would be an interesting race for 4th of July. You're right.
No straightaways, just a big.
a big circle,
Yeah.
just constant turning. Okay. Yeah, so that's some interesting ideas. Okay, so moving right along here, because I think we're about ready to close up the O'Reilly series. The ARCA series will go pretty quick.
Yep.
Let's move on to the ARCA series. Give me a minute for my pages to move over here.
I also I forgot to say at the start. I think I'm between. I'd give ARCA a 3 out of 10. It really wasn't that good.
It
Yeah.
wasn't that good.
I'm most interested. I know they don't usually come out with it. I want to see the ARCA ratings because it went head to head with O'Reilly. I am so interested to see what their ratings are because I think it might. What was it, Toledo last year where it went head to head with like NASCAR at Martinsville? They had like 32,000 viewers, like at their peak. I'd be interested to see what ARCA had at Berlin
Yeah.
because it's usually one of my.
O'Reilly was like at 4 o'clock Central, and then the Berlin race was,
It was
6 o'clock Central, but they overlapped.
Yeah, it was. I think O'Reilly was 5 Eastern, and I'm pretty sure ARCA was 6 Eastern. I'm not. I didn't watch it live. I took O'Reilly over that. I watched the ARCA race yesterday and today.
Okay, here's the storylines from the ARCA race. Max Reeves finally breaks through in 2026. Reeves and Annunziata was the race deciding battle. Jake Bowman extends his championship lead. A strong night for the female drivers. They mentioned Taylor Reimer and Isabella Robusto in 4th and 5th. Hometown driver Tyler Lupton impressed in his debut. Nitro Motorsports continues to show strength. Berlin Raceway begins as ARCA's summer short track stretch, and there's a stretch of them. They're going to Elko Speedway next weekend. So let's start with Max Reeves finally breaking through with a victory this season.
Yeah. Really impressed by Max Reeves. I felt like he just managed that race very well. Right once he got past Annunziata, he was basically on cruise control. And even when Annunziata got control of the lead again, Max Reeves, it took him just a few laps. And yeah, we talked about it last week that 18 Gibbs car in the ARCA series is just so good. I feel like that could have been a lot of it, but credit to Max Reeves. He he managed the race. Did you want to say something?
I was responding to the chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but even though it was, like a typical Gibbs ARCA domination race, I was still impressed with Max Reeves. He didn't make a lot of mistakes, which a lot of ARCA guys who lead these races tend to do a lot. We saw in age with Lupton there. I keep wanting to say Dylan Lupton. Reminds me of that one like O'Reilly series racer from years ago. But 15 years old, he made a mistake and it cost him, but Max Reeves did not. So there you have it.
Okay, and all sports.
To clarify for Hunter, it was just the main ARCA series. So
Yeah,
it was on.
Yeah, I realized that after I said West.
So it was
West
on
is next week.
Yeah. So I will say I don't think it brought us up, but last year at Lime Rock, I got to talk to Brendan Queen for a bit, and it was right after the Elko race. And I said to him, man, that Max Reeves kid, he's fast. And he lit up. He was mad. He goes, he ain't fast. He ain't fast. That car's damn fast. It ain't him. Man, Max Reeves, he's expected to win those races. I was surprised if he didn't get in the damage or the mechanical issue at Toledo, he would have won that race. Like Max Reeves has to win these races. He has to. That car's too dominant.
Number 18 is unstoppable.
It's a league of their own. And I'll say I was more pleased with Thomas Annunziata. I was really worried about him because like at the start of the year, I was like, yeah, he should win this championship easy. But he talked about how difficult like Arrow was. He was like so new to it, and we know he ran a half season in O'Reilly last year, split it with Leland Honeyman and Derek
Yep.
Cope. But when you look back at those races, he really only ran the road courses and short tracks. Also, not having a spotter at Talladega hurt him a lot. But I was really surprised. He talked about how the road course background like translated over to the short tracks. I think that race like saved his. If he ran bad there today, I would have given up on him. It would have been a right in for Jake Bowman for the championship. That and Jake Bowman still ran top 5. I mean, it's probably gonna be hard for Nunziata to do. I was really impressed with Nunziata.
Yeah.
Like Max Reeves did his job, and I know like we want to be happy, he won, but come on, let's face it, he did what he's supposed to do in that car. Even if he's 16 years old, he's supposed to do that. He's supposed to do that.
Okay, Reed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like I was more impressed by Annunziata. It wasn't a lot of points on Bowman's lead, but he gained a couple. And that's all you gotta do in these races is build up some momentum so you can challenge for a win later in the season. But if Annunziata or Bowman wants to secure a championship, I feel like you just got to start winning against whoever's in that 18 car. And shout out to Annunziata. I feel like he's definitely going to give Bowman a run for his money here in the next few weeks if he continues that momentum.
Okay.
Especially with Lime Rock coming up.
Yeah.
Yes, the Lime Rock is coming up. So, and the ARCA West is going to be racing at Sonoma this weekend as well.
I'm excited to see the entry list for that race because last year, I've been a fan of ARCA West for like my whole life. I was a huge Derek Krause fan, but it was always on NBCSN.
I love Derek Krause.
Oh my gosh, Derek Krause! I remember meeting him for the first time at New Hampshire. I was like so young. I've always liked him, but like it used to be on a week later on NBCSN. You'd have Derek Pernasiglio,
right,
like Dylan Welch, but it was on that Samsung TV like NASCAR channel thing last year, and you had Eckes, Sawalich, Jack Wood. I will never forget that 3 wide finish at Sonoma. Charlie Crawl on the call, and I'm just so excited for that race. I just had to bring that up. I'm fired up for it.
Okay, I'm going to bring up the finishing order on the
ARCA side.
ARCA side. We're going to share this tab instead. And here's the race results. Max Reeves was your number 1 driver. His margin of victory was 1.057 seconds. Number 7 of Thomas Annunziata, 70. Thomas Annunziata came in second. Then it was the points leader, Jake Bowman, coming in 3rd place. Taylor Reimer, one of the females in the top 10. Doesn't happen very often. Then local Tyler Lupton finished in 6th place. Hold on. Will Robinson finished in 7th. Matt Kemp was your 9th place finisher, and Zachary Tinkle. Matt Kemp was 8th. Zachary Tinkle was 9th, and Jason Kitzmiller rounds out the top 10 here. Zachary was 1 lap down. Jason Kitzmiller 2 laps down. So really 8 cars on the lead lap here. Your thoughts about the finishing order?
Yeah, it's normally kind of what you see out of these ARCA races. Not too many cars in contention, unfortunately, but I still kept watching to see if Max Reeves would make any mistakes that Annunziata might be able to capitalize on. Bowman, we talked about it last week, just very consistent. That's his biggest strength right now. But Taylor Reimer was, they mentioned on the broadcast, was like trailing right behind him for like 100 laps. And she was right there at the end, just couldn't complete the pass. But I was impressed with Taylor Reimer. I thought she did a great job managing that race and just kind of working her way up. Isabella Robusto, that's kind of what she's done this year, running that spot. She's just a very smooth, steady driver. I would like to see a bit more pace out of her, but I really enjoyed seeing her battle with Will Robinson in those kind of middle stages. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Jake? Before you go, though, I want to do catch up here. They raved at the Glen, then Lime Rock. Okay, yeah. Okay. Cole Trickle says, I was starting to call it the Coronado curse after all the red flags. Yeah, a lot of people were frustrated with those red flags. Jamie says, I was a sports intern with Brett McMillan, now at MRN, as a boss at WSOC TV in Charlotte in 1984. Okay, well, that's good to know. And then Cole Trickle says, yeah, I got into NASCAR when I moved to Charlotte in the late 1980s. That's pretty cool. Thanks for being here, Cole Trickle. We hope you continue to come back. Okay, you guys, thoughts? Jake?
I've been really hard on Isabella Robusto because it's her second full-time season. She ran races 3 years ago, and I expect she should be winning this championship, in my opinion. And besides her just horrendous qualifying effort, don't know how she qualifies behind Matt Kemp. Yes, I know it's his local track, but he's racing for Andy Hillenberg, I think. Behind Zachary Tinkle, atrocious qualifying effort. But I will say, great job battling through go through all that lap traffic, battling all those inexperienced guys or guys in worse cars, and getting up to a top 5. I'll say that was a really good run for her. Like what Reed said, I mean, it's what you expect. I mean, if you had asked us before the race to write down what you think the finishing order would be, it would be similar to this. Dylan, Tyler Lupton. I got good memory. I just got flashbacks to like Dylan Lupton. But, yeah, Tyler Lupton, I mean, good way to come back from 2 laps. I mean, definitely his fault. He just drove under Annunziata, got up too high, or hit that bump right in the turn. I would say, like, Zachary Tinkle, this is his first race with, like, the team he actually owns. And he was actually, I don't know how he finished lap down. He was, like, showing, because he had, like, that 35-lap run. But he was showing, like, pace to stay up. Like, he was running in front of Will Robinson and Isabella Robusto off of speed at some points. I know it's Matt Kemp's home track. And, obviously Andy Hillenberg Racing isn't that quick. But I remember Eric Brennan talking, like, there was some, like, caveat to, like, that car this weekend where he got, like, some sort of sponsor that helped out with something in the car. And I can't remember that was a great run with him. I heard Eric Brennan talking about it. I just can't remember.
On Power Hour?
No, I was, like, during the broadcast. He was talking about it. Now, but I was on the ride home. I was in the truck, and I couldn't really hear what he was saying. It was something like that. But, yeah, I mean, just a paint-by-numbers finish for the ARCA race.
Okay, Reed?
Yeah, I figured we'd talk about Tyler Lupton here for a second. I thought he did a good job just managing the race after he made that mistake, but I was a little disappointed. But the kid's 15. I guess we can give him a break there. Still get some solid points for that. Just wish he didn't make that mistake with Annunziata, and he could have been contending for maybe a top 3. But he came back, and I was pretty impressed with Zachary Tinkle. He did have a lot of pretty good short run speed. I just think that final run kind of caught up to him a little bit. Nothing to be ashamed of for that run at all.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the points report here, and we'll kind of cover that. Jake Bowman, he now has a pretty good, it's about the same actually, lead that he's had. Is it up on screen? I don't think it is.
It's up there.
Oh, it is up there. Okay,
yeah.
So it's a 24-point lead over Thomas Annunziata. That's been pretty consistent for the season. He does have that average. Jake Bowman has just been unbelievable. 5.8 average finish with a 6.9 average start. So that's why he's in that number 1 spot. He's very, very consistent. Thomas Annunziata, though, has a 9.1 average start with a 9.2 average finish. So also consistent, but just a little bit further back. Isabella Robusto now has that third place spot. She's down 62 points. Ryan Vargas moved back because he was not in this race. He's 74 back. Jason Kitzmiller holds down that fifth place spot, 77 back. And then it's Takuma Koga, Michael Maples, Andy Jakowiak, Alex Clubb, Bobby Earnhardt are their top 10. And a lot of those guys did not race this weekend. So it's going to change up these points as we continue to go through the season. That's why Ryan Vargas moved back, because he was not in this race. So your thoughts here about the points, Reed?
Yeah, so I was a little disappointed that Ryan Vargas wasn't racing because Austin Vaughn, who was in that 91 car for him, could not stay on that track. So I wish they would have just given it to Vargas. I think he deserved it, and it would have helped him a lot more in that championship battle. But yeah, the points did not change that much, but Annunziata just got like maybe like 1 or 2 points on him. I'm not totally sure.
I think
right
it was
there.
the same as last time.
I think it'd be 1. Did Bowman finish third? Do we remember?
Yeah, Bowman finished third.
So Annunziata would get 43 points and Bowman would get 42. And Annunziata would get 44 because he led a lap.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I don't think Bowman led a lap.
I think it was just Reeves and Annunziata.
Yeah, so he should have gotten, because that makes sense. I feel like the difference last week was 26. So yeah, he would have gotten 2 points over Bowman.
Oh, okay. I knew it was in that range, I guess.
Yeah. But if Annunziata wants to catch up, he needs Bowman to stop being so consistent, which is, we talked about last week, is his biggest strength. One of these weeks, I think it might come for Annunziata, but even that, like a place like Talladega, it didn't work.
Okay, Cole Trickle says, thank you. Glad I found you guys. I was a NASCAR mechanic, tire guy, truck driver for a small part-time NASCAR team. We also did ARCA back in 2005. We had David Reagan as our driver. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. Thanks for sharing that. And we hope you return. We're glad you found us too. And Hunter says, I root for Thomas A. He grew up near me and I used to watch him race back in the day locally. And Jamie says, I loved Reagan. I enjoyed watching Reagan.
I'm with you. I'm with you there, Hunter. I also root for Annunziata. Me and him are really close LinkedIn friends, so we'll keep that.
Okay, so with all of that going into the ARCA Menards series, Reeves versus Annunziata was the deciding factor for this week. The pole winner, Thomas Annunziata, was the only driver who could consistently challenge Reeves after taking the lead following the competition caution. Annunziata appeared poised to score a major victory before Reeves made the winning pass with 45 laps left. Annunziata settled for a strong runner-up finish, but it was still disappointing for him, I'm sure.
Yeah. I thought his contention was promising, though. Those 18 cars are not easy to beat, and he stayed within a second of him most of the time. I imagine he used those laps to learn from behind him. So nothing to be ashamed of, just unfortunate that he couldn't get the win for him.
I will say, Reed, you choosing Reed to go first saved our viewers from a huge rant I was about to go on about Austin Vaughn. Like, I'm indifferent about Ryan Vargas. Like, I know a lot of people like him a lot. I'm indifferent. It's like, yeah, like, good for him, right? I don't understand how he's so fast, yet his owner, Michael Maples, is like a starting park at this point. But I've liked Austin Vaughn. I liked him in the East Series last year when he won Rookie of the Year. So he went landscaping out of turn 3, stalled the car twice on entry to pit road, and like missed the entrance to pit road. I can't even. I saw him. I saw him. So like I said, I was watching on my phone on the ride home, and I saw the first caution. He stalled there, right? And then like 10 minutes later, it looked same camera angle, everything. I'm like, what the heck? Why is my phone going backwards? And I start to like rewind the thing, and I see it. I'm like, he did it again. It does. I don't even know how does that even happen. I don't know. Yeah, I feel bad for Ryan Vargas. Like I said, I still like Austin Vaughn, but what the heck could have possibly? I mean, of course, like Fox didn't show us how he got out there and stuff. But,
Yep, we were in commercial.
Yeah. Hey, I will say this though. Last year when ARCA Fox went to like the small, like when they went to DuQuoin and Illinois State, they didn't have literally anyone there, and they had to have Brent Cruz put on a headset and have a microphone to talk to them from a booth in North Carolina. So I mean, at least they were there, and I like Eric Brennan a lot.
Trying to outbid Cletus McCletus. I don't know what that means. Cole Trickle says, everyone's saying we're not coming back to Coronado Air Base next year. So I was joking that they should race in Area 51 next year.
I wanted to make that joke so bad.
Okay. So some of these other topics we've already kind of touched on. A strong night for the female drivers. Jake Bowman extending his championship lead. A strong night. The hometown driver, Tyler Lupton. What about Nitro Motorsports continues to show strength? In addition to Bowman's podium finish, Will Robinson impressed in the ARCA Menards Series debut by finishing 7th. They actually had multiple cars in the top 10 and continued to establish as one of the series' strongest organizations. That's about Nitro Motorsports.
It's a battle between, what do they have, 3 full-time drivers? It's a battle between which one of them can be the most consistent and win a championship, because they're usually not going to win races because the 18 is going to beat them straight unless the 18 gets wrecked. And even then, the PRG cars will still probably beat them, but they're all part-time. So it's really between Robusto, Annunziata, and Bowman who can be the most consistent and win the championship, because Jason Kitzmiller is not going to contend with them. And Nitro is the literal definition of a second-place team. Or actually, I'd probably say third-place team. I think it goes JGR, Nitro, or PRG, and then Nitro. I mean, what are we going to say? They're doing better, because they had a few rough races to start. I mean, if they were doing worse than what's worse? Running behind the Starton Parkers that run at Berlin. I mean, it's not the Venturini of the old days, Even the old days a few years ago where it was what was it, Jesse? Was it Corey Hyman, Drew Dollar? That whole
Drew Dollar.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget Billy Venturini's interview there. But I mean, again, I know the ownership switch, but I really look at with the Nitro cars, and I think the biggest judge for them, I actually look at their West races with Mia Lavelle, and they have Julian DaCosta a few times. I think that is the best judgment of where they're at, and I hope I'm wrong, because man, they're doing bad out there. Mia Lavelle had a good run at Tri-City.
Yeah, she finished 3rd.
But I mean, it's tough to judge them because they're worse than JGR, worse than PRG, but they're still better than Starton Parkers. And really, what other competition is there? I don't know. Because you also have to look at their driver talent. Annunziata should win the road courses. We've never seen Jake Bowman when he won one ARCA race that was rain shortened for Bill
Colorado National.
Yeah, and Isabel Robusto. It's tough to judge them because it's what do you have to? Are we going to judge them against JGR because they're way down here?
Yeah.
But are we going to judge against the Starton Parkers because they're way up here? It's tough.
Yeah. It's a good point. Reed?
Yeah, agreed. Basically, it's just between whoever can be more consistent. If Jake Bowman doesn't have a disastrous race, which can happen, but I feel what I talked about earlier is that he's playing it safe right now, just not putting any risks that he has no need to. But yeah, I think I would probably actually take Robusto out of that conversation because Robusto is very consistent out of all three of those drivers, but she's just not ahead of them normally in running position. So I think it's just between Bowman and Annunziata. It's just going to come down to his last few races and see if whichever one can get a win over that 18 car.
Yeah,
She's very good on the short tracks, and there's a few short tracks that are coming up. So I wouldn't count her out just yet.
Hopefully so. We need it to be more interesting.
She had a rough start, granted, but she is better on the short tracks, and that's in this summer stretch is all about the short tracks. So we'll see what happens.
But like I think that also can be tough because it's like like I said, I think she ran well at Berlin, but like the oval races we have 35 guys at Michigan. There's a lot more. We can judge them against like Cletus or like other like Andy J and stuff like that. And then it's the short tracks. The short tracks is where ARCA becomes ARCA, not like ARCA becomes ARCA, where it's like a few good teams and then the rest. But like I agree with Reed. Like I don't want to count her out, but I don't think she's gonna, because Bowman's too consistent. And the way the ARCA points is, it's like unless Bowman starts wrecking out of these. And here's the thing: if he wrecks out at Elko, oh great, he loses like 10 points because as long as he doesn't wreck out the first lap, he's gonna finish probably 12th because of all the guys who run like either they start in park or they run 20 laps because of how slow they are. I think it's gonna be between Annunziata and Bowman. I think Robusto. The reason I said it's between those three is because I think Robusto should be the champ. Like she should be the championship favorite. She's just not performing like it.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Max Reeve did cash out at Berlin while Bowman strengthened his championship grip. Reeves finally got the victory, but Bowman's consistency may be the bigger championship story as the ARCA season heads toward its summer short track swing. Now, here's the thing. Max Reeves isn't racing full time. So really, Bowman is the bigger story here, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like Jake said, it really just comes down to Bowman wrecks at any of these races, which he isn't showing any signs of. Like again, he's just playing it safe. But it's going to be interesting in these summer months.
It's one of those ARCA years where you'll have like, I feel like it's every other year. Last year you had the Brendan Queen, right? It was like, oh, this guy is going to be dominant. Like, let's see like what he does, right? Yep. 24 was Andres Perez, very uncompetitive. Like, it just want a year like this where it's like a crapshoot, but like they're not winning. The guys who are going to win the championship aren't winning races because all like the JGR guys. And then like, I don't remember 2022 too well. I just remember it being similar to like this year. But then 2021 was like, that was the Heim and Gibbs year. So I think it's one of those it's like Time Majeski's finishes like that. We're just at like that point, the ARCA where it can be more exciting because it's there's actually a fight for the championship, but it's like you don't have like the big overwhelming story like overwhelming the whole year.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Okay, now then, let's move on to the Cup Series. Corey Heim scores a strong run. A stunning first NASCAR Cup Series victory. The biggest story of the day was undoubtedly the rookie sensation Corey Heim earning his first career NASCAR Cup Series win. Heim wasn't the favorite in entering the weekend, especially with road course ace Shane Van Gisbergen on the pole. But a combination of smart strategy, patience, and late race execution put him in position to capitalize when the others faltered. The victory came just days after Heim was announced as a full-time Cup driver for 27, making the win even more significant. Is Corey Heim's victory the start of NASCAR's next superstar story?
Absolutely. Corey Heim has so much raw pace. He understands the racecraft pretty well. I know a lot of people are talking about that move that spun Hocevar out, but I see it as payback from 2024 in that championship race where Hocevar took Heim out there in those closing laps for the championship. Yeah, so really impressed with Heim. He was at, it's going to be in one of my articles here this week. I've got 2 on the lineup. He was ranked 24th in the betting odds compared to Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zilisch, who were first and second. So it's a huge underdog upset that has not happened very much in NASCAR at all. And I did not have Corey Heim on my radar. I thought he would, probably be race around mid pack, but he blew me away.
Okay, Cole Trickle says, I wonder if NASCAR is waiting to see if California gets a better governor than Gavin Newsom is gone, so they have cheaper, less regulations, political leverage to build AAA Speedway into a short track. Yeah, they need the money to build that track.
I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but I think it's going to cut. If they build that short track, they're going to have to demolish some brand new buildings.
Oh, had they already started building in there?
Oh, yeah. It's like so like the front straightaway is all that's there. And then it's just buildings. So it's like a not office park, like an Amazon like park, like distribution thing, like the whole thing. Like there's no room for it.
Okay. Hunter Blazer says the win margin was awesome, like 10 plus seconds. And then Jamie says real estate market is a major issue for a track in Southern California. It's pretty much landlocked. So that's what makes it so tough.
That's a lot of the issues with a lot of these tracks, especially Kentucky. That track might be gone in a couple of years. Hopefully not. Pikes Peak International, that track is closing permanently next year, mostly due to real estate, which is such a shame. But yeah, it's a little bit concerning for sure.
And then Hunter says SVG won the first road course at Chicago, as well as won Pablo Montoya at Sonoma, and then Warehouse Park. Yeah, that's exactly what it's become, a warehouse area. So yeah, let's talk about Corey Heim's win. Your overall thoughts about Corey Heim winning. It was by a large margin. Jake?
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Corey Heim is a better prospect than Connor Zilisch, and I don't think it's close. I think we all got caught up in Connor Zilisch won, 10, 11 races last year in Reilly. When did he win all those races? When was his first win? Pocono. After that, when he on that crazy stretch, what was that mostly during? The playoffs, right? Guess who weren't in those playoff races? Cup drivers. Corey Heim won 12 truck races last year, spread out evenly across the whole year, with Cup guys coming down. Did 5 wins the year before with Cup guys coming down? And I think Corey Heim has something that Connor Zilisch doesn't. He has a chip on his shoulder. He has been, the dude must be loyal as heck, seeing he's still with Toyota. I find it hard to believe that he didn't get some other offer, and I can't explain it. Reed took the words right out of my mouth. I was like so ready to talk about like the Hocevar thing. Like, I don't care. Corey Heim, I don't care if he wrecks him for the next 5 years. It still won't be close to paying back Carson Hocevar. I like Carson Hocevar, but anytime that incident is brought up, Corey Heim, I don't care. He can dump him for the next 5 years. I don't.
He's got free leeway, huh?
Yeah, just how dumb Carson Hocevar's move was. I think it's warranted. I mean, just like it wasn't like he like right hooked him down a straightaway. He pulled a Taylor Gray on Carson Kvapil and just punched him out of the way, and Hocevar spun. I'm so happy for Corey Heim though. It's been a long time coming. I feel now, but the sad thing is like now I have to feel bad for Riley Herbst because now he's actually finally starting to do good, and like, it's gonna be tough for Herbst, and like I'm so proud for him, but just can't say enough about Corey Heim. It's awesome.
Okay.
Shout out to Jamie, who said that he had him on his fantasy picks. That's a pretty nice poll.
Yeah, he wasn't on ours, was he?
No, he wasn't.
So yeah, that was pretty good. And then he says he can't argue with that take. And then Hunter Blazer says Corey Heim also led in 2 other Cup races multiple laps. Sharon, remember my bold prediction that Heim would win in his rookie year? Didn't even start it yet. Yep. I do remember that. That was a good, bold call, and it came to fruition. So thank you for sharing that with us. So go ahead, Reed.
Let's see. What was I gonna talk? I think I was just shouting at Jamie. I interrupted what you were about to say.
Cole says, I drove past Kentucky Speedway. They widened out the interstate for about 1.5 miles or so on the Interstate 71 right in front of the track. So I don't think they're going to bulldoze that one. And then Hunter says, once SVG wrecked, I bet Heim at 40-1 odds. Amazing stuff. He never disappoints. That is amazing stuff.
Remind me to never go to I don't like to gamble, but remind me if I ever go to a casino to make sure that Jamie and Hunter aren't there.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan. Okay, let's go ahead and share the, I've got to change the tab here. Give me a minute. And we'll get the right tab up. We're going to share this tab instead. Corey Heim was your winner. He didn't really gain any points because he's not racing for points in the Cup Series, but he won by 10.365 seconds, and he only led 3 laps. That's amazing what this kid does. Corey Heim finished in first after starting in 13th place. Then it was Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson in third, Zane Smith having another good run in 4th place. AJ Allmendinger came up to 5th place from 15th. Chris Buescher finished 6th from 16th. Ross Chastain in 7th after starting in 23rd. Riley Earp started 24th and finished 8th. Ryan Blaney finished in 9th place after starting 3rd. Michael McDowell finished in 9th place after he finished in 10th after starting from 9th. Ryan Preece had that 11th place, Chase Elliott in 12th, and Daniel Suarez in 13th. I might as well go down the list here. Denny Hamlin in 14th, Ty Gibbs in 15th. John Hunter Nemechek had that 16th place finish. Some of the ones down at the bottom here. Kevin Magnussen, I thought he would finish a little bit better, but he had a respectable finish, I guess.
He ran a little bit better than that, but he ran around like 20th, 21st all day.
Yeah, Christopher Bell gave up his spot to Brent Cruz, but they ended up out of the race anyway. Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zillage got caught up in incidents that took them out of the race. Same thing, Austin Hill. Some of these good drivers ended up out of the race because of incidents on the track. So your thoughts here about the finishing order?
First off, shout out to those California drivers, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of Larson, Zane, and AJ.
Yes.
It's kind of like a homecoming track for them. I know this probably meant a lot for them, so good for them. We already talked about Corey Heim, so shout out to Bubba Wallace, his teammate. 2 laps down, drove through the field. I thought he had maybe the best car during the first stage because he made quick work of a bunch of those guys in the top 10, so good for him. Buescher had a crazy day. He did a full 360 on that straightaway. And no, we got some Fords in the top 10, Jamie. We got Blaney
Buescher.
Zane, and Zane and 4th.
Blaney's there.
Yeah. Speaking of Blaney, he was also pretty considerably fast all day. Just kind of got a little unlucky on strategy there on tires, but still a good finish for him. And shout out Riley Herbst. I said it on the fantasy report at the very end of the episode that I'd be watching Riley Herbst to maybe contend for a good finish, and he was running top 5, almost won stage 2, I believe. Yeah, great day for Riley Herbst. I think he just keeps having impressive races, so good for him. Michael McDowell, I think he had kind of a top 5 car, but he lost all his track position in that huge wreck thing at the beginning of stage 3. So unfortunate for them.
3 Fords in the top 10. Zane Smith in 4th, Chris Buescher in 6th, and Ryan Blaney in 9th. Go ahead.
And Ryan Preece, I think he won stage 2, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was very surprised by Ryan Preece. He looked very fast in that opening run. I dug out my Ryan Preece shirt for for tonight. But yeah, Chase Elliott, he was a little bit underwhelming. I know he got spun by Austin Cindric earlier, but I was expecting him to run a little bit better. Nemechek 16th, kind of about what I expected. Gibbs 15th though, that surprises me. Yeah, he was fast earlier in this race, but I'm not totally sure what happened.
He had huge damage. His whole front end was.
Oh, he did. He did. That's right.
Like you could see the the red like radiator tubes was dangling in front of his right front tire.
Tyler Reddick fell back at the end.
Yeah. First off, I said a successful day for Eric Jones for these road courses would look like a top 20, and he squeaked one out at the very end.
He did.
So Todd Gilliland was up there, just got a little bit unlucky on strategy. Cody Ware, I think that may be one of his best finishes. I think that's his best finish of the season. I'm not totally sure. Tyler Reddick, he honestly did not show that much speed at all today until the very end. He moved up through the field, probably would have finished in the top 10, but I was kind of surprised that he wasn't really contending at all in the early parts of the race.
He was contending right at the very end, but he fell back when his tire went down.
Yep.
And everything. So, yeah.
That was the only time that I saw Reddick have genuine speed was there at the end when he kind of got lucky off strategy and he got that clean air. And Reddick is he's an amazing driver, so you give him clean air and he's going to use it.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Any other
also, yeah, shame for Shane Van Gisbergen. He was the heavy favorite coming in today. Same with Connor Zilic, who was second and behind him. Austin Hill, the guy you see above them, he kind of went from hero to zero, won the O'Reilly race, kind of misjudged the entry in that first corner and just took out caused a huge accident. Really unfortunate, but it led to some more opportunities. And if that wreck doesn't happen, I don't think Corey Heim wins this race. So really turned it upside down. And then Kevin Magnussen.
I would have loved to have seen that, Corey Heim and SVG.
Yeah. But we got Corey Heim and Reddick instead, which is still pretty fun to watch.
A good one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the points report here, the standings. The standings here, you've got Tyler Reddick at the top. His points lead now just 8 points. Would anybody have thought that just a few weeks ago that they could be cut down to 8 points? 8 points now between first and second, Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick. Ryan Blaney in third place, 133 back. Then it's Kyle Larson. He moved up 2 spots to fourth. Ty Gibbs in fifth. Chase Elliott moved back 2 spots. He's now in sixth. Then you got Chris Buescher in seventh. Daniel Suarez eighth. Carson Hocevar ninth. Chase Briscoe in 10th. Bubba Wallace 11th. Chase Briscoe and Bubba Wallace both moved up 2 spots. Christopher Bell and William Byron both moved down 2 spots. Eric Jones moved up 1. Austin Cindric moved up 1, 14th and 15th. And Ryan Preece moved up 3. That put him in 16th place here for the race finish. No, this is the points report. Put him in 16th place for the chase contention. Shane Van Gisbergen fell back 3 spots. That took him out of chase contention. So a big change up there. Brad Keselowski down 2, AJ Allmendinger up 1, McDowell down 1, Ross Chastain up 1, Zane Smith up 1. Riley Herbst moved up 3 spots.
There we go.
Ricky,
Some momentum.
it is. Ricky Stenhouse down 4. John Hunter Nemechek down 1. Casey Mears wasn't in the race, but yeah, that's pretty much your points report. Your thoughts here. Jake, we'll start with you.
Yep.
Yeah, I just another good run by Suarez, which I was surprised with. Denny, did he finish 14th? Like, that was pretty good for him. Yeah, the SVG, like, he needed this. I think, to be honest with you, I think his chances are about over. Now we see anything can happen. He should win Sonoma. Yeah, that's a good point by Hunter. Felt bad for Brent Cruz. We didn't really go over that in the finishing order because he was so far down. But so people were saying that he hit a money shift going into first. He said that the thing would stay in neutral, and he said that the smoke coming from the pipe shows it was something at the engine more. So Brent Cruz runs a lot of TA2. Those also have H pattern shifters as well as the Reilly cars, 4-speed H patterns. And now we know the Cup car is 5-speed sequential, even though it's like a newer shift. Like I find it hard to believe that Brent Cruz, it's not that hard going from an H pattern to a sequential. I find it hard to believe he'd hit a money shift like that. And it's very clear when you do that, because Hunter just brought that up. But like, I think it's SVG needed to win these 2 races, I think, to realistically have a shot at making the chase without running like consistently crazy at ovals. Now, yeah, we've seen him run like top 10 every once in a while in oval, but that's the thing. He'll run top 10 at where do you run? He ran top 10 at was it
New Hampshire? How about New Hampshire?
Yeah. And then he'll show up at Las Vegas and run 36, right?
Yeah, because he'd get damaged in like lap 1.
Yeah, because he hit the apron too hard. I think this is done for SVG now. I'm really interested to see how can Joey Logano get up to the chase. He hasn't shown that consistent speed. I think Ross Chastain's done. I don't think he can make it from 22nd. So we saw Legacy I agree with Jamie. I don't think he's going to make it. We saw Legacy come back to earth this week, but Eric Jones is still 14th in points. I don't know who predicted that this year. I sure as heck did not. Just one last thing, Kyle Larson moving up 2 spots. Finally, Hendrick gets a car to run decent at a road course. And one final thing, can we just stop saying that Chase Elliott's a road course threat? Like, he legit might be the top 5 worst road course drivers in the next gen car. Like,
wow.
He was good before the
Bring
next
out the
gen.
spoon.
Before he was the best. And
yes.
Tyler Reddick right behind him. But name one road course in the next gen era that Chase Elliott did good at. I can't think of one.
I can name what he's been good at, but I don't think he has won a next gen road course race.
Like, in every broadcast, Prime was talking about, oh yeah, watch out, Chase Elliott. He's always a contender. I literally screamed at my TV. He's literally never a contender ever at road courses. He was running like 30 of 28th off of pace. Like, can we stop saying that Chase Elliott is a contender at these road courses? Kyle Larson was in the same thing. Remember, they both ran like 30th at Watkins Glen, and that's why I was so surprised with Kyle Larson. He was leading for a bit, and he finished 3rd, I want to say.
So he finished 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's really impressive in my opinion for how Hendrick has been at these road courses. So I was really happy with Kyle Larson, and maybe this gets some momentum to break his 41 race winless streak, or 40, I can't remember.
It's close enough. It's around that.
Okay, I'm going to do some catch up here. Cole Trickle says there was a vintage race car. There was vintage racing at Indy Motor Speedway this past weekend. There's all kinds of different race cars there, and they are put into classes. There was a NASCAR race car class, NASCAR Trucks 2. And then he goes on to say there was a race car that flew off the road and really caught air and crashed at this past weekend's Pikes Peak hill climb. So somebody was mentioning Pikes Peak there. He says the driver did walk away. Jamie's got a question for the panel. Could the big 3 teams each have 2 cars missing the chase? It's possible. This might be the year. Tyler better win a couple more races if he wants to keep the points lead. Yeah, he's just about to lose it. But on the other side of that, Hamlin has to make sure he has a good points day, because the road courses are not his forte. So next week is another chance for him to lose points. But if he does what he did at Naval Base Coronado, he's going to be okay. I low key think Suarez is competing and can be a threat in the chase. And Cole Trickle says, wondering how that sewer lid came loose at Coronado. They had weeks to get those things welded in place during the building the track, or however they secured them in place. You're right, Cole. We did talk about that, and we think that was a big oversight, not double checking that. So, go ahead.
To answer, was it Jamie's question? I'm guessing he's saying Penske is the part of the big three. I think the Hendrick one is probably the Penske one's the most realistic. I would not be surprised if Cindric and Logano missed it. JGR, I know Briscoe and Bell are kind of on that cut line, but even with them, I'd be surprised if they don't pull their crap together and at least make the chase like that. I know Briscoe's down to 14th or 13th. I'd still be really surprised.
You want me to put it back up there?
Yeah, and then I think what was it? Bowman's not gonna make it. Like, obviously, I don't see Byron falling out.
Christopher Bell is 12th.
Yeah, I don't think all three of them will have two missing, but I think it's possible that one of them will have two missing.
So yeah, I agree with you. To answer Jamie's question, I don't think it is possible, realistically, for all three of them to have two missing. I can see Logano and Cindric both losing out, although I think Logano is going to make it over Cindric eventually. I'd say the person on Gibbs that I'm concerned about right now is Christopher Bell, and it's not due to his actual talent or skill. It's just because of that wrist injury, and it really has taken a hit on his performance. Christopher Bell, great road course racer, qualified 36th at San Diego. So I think that's concerning, even though we know how hard road courses are. And going back to the results that you talked about, how Jake said Legacy kind of fell back to earth. I don't think so necessarily. I mean, Eric Jones has always been awful at road courses. So my expectations for him coming in this weekend were very low. And John Hunter Nemechek has always just kind of been whatever. So I think it's going to be about the same here at Sonoma, but we'll have to see.
I was thinking about it as my expectations for Legacy going into Michigan.
Okay.
They're probably going to run 30th. And they exceeded crazy. That's why I was I'm not saying this was a good day for them, but I'm saying fell back to earth is they're no longer on the moon, in the stars with their finishes. But I feel like Nemechek's a bit better than a sixth. He had some good runs in O'Reilly, but Jones finished where he should have.
Okay. Next up, 2311 really shows some championship caliber speed. Even though Heim took the win, the performance of Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace may have been just as impressive. Reddick appeared to have one of the fastest cars in the field and was battling Heim for the victory before suffering a late tire failure. And Wallace rallied from adversity to finish second, giving 2311 Racing two cars in contention throughout the event.
Yeah, so I also think the biggest indicator of speed for 2311 is how well Reilly Herbst does, because I think all of those drivers are pretty great. And Reilly Herbst, I don't think he's bad. He gets a lot of hate, but I just don't think he is nowhere close to the same level as Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, or even Corey Heim. But to his credit, he did great today. Yeah, Tyler Reddick was there at the end. He always finds a way. He didn't have the much speed this race at all, but he was there at the end. But yeah, 2311. they fired back with Denny Hamlin. Even if Denny Hamlin cut down on the points lead again because Reddick with the flat. But yeah, I think it was a huge statement for 2311 and for Denny Hamlin because he also owns 2311.
Yes, yes. Jake?
Yeah, I think that was a good point about how Riley Herbst is running. I think that was a really good point. I agree. Right, Herbst gets way too much hate, and it's like, was he great in O'Reilly? No, but he always was around the 12th. Like if we're talking about, like Jamie was talking about, oh, could William Sawalich go into Legacy? Like, I think that's kind of crazy, but I mean, I'm a little harder on Sawalich than most people. Like, I think most people be like, it's a little early, but yeah, it's possible. Herbst was running better than that all of his years in O'Reilly. At worst, he was running 12 points. He won a few races. I was young, but from what I remember from Bubba Wallace's O'Reilly career, he didn't win many races. I think I only remember seeing him win a few.
Most of his success came in the Truck Series with KBM.
Yeah, and Herbst really didn't get those opportunities in the trucks. I don't think he ran a part-time schedule in 2020 with the trucks as he was running full-time O'Reilly. Like, I think, like, is it crazy to say that eventually in years, if Herbst stayed in that car, which he won't, like, I think he could be as good as Wallace is now, like, in years.
Yeah.
Because, like, they both, like Wallace wasn't Corey Heim in the truck series. He was good. And he was solid in O'Reilly. Yeah.
Not many people are going to be Corey Heim.
Yeah.
I do have one question. Are we going to eventually get to the Kevin Magnussen, Noah Gragson?
Yes.
I have I was gonna wait for that. I have just
I just want to make sure.
From we will.
A lot of the same quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have something to say, Reed?
No, I totally agree. I definitely do think Riley Herbst can get to a spot in the Cup Series, like and I don't mean this as an insult, but kind of like a Ty Dillon, I feel like he definitely can be he can race on Sundays. I feel like he's shown improvement, and especially with how different the O'Reilly cars and the Cup Series cars drive, I think the more laps you get, the better you get, and it's just going to take time, and I think he'll eventually get there. And 35th to 24th in points, that's 11 spots. That's pretty amazing, despite the speed that the Toyotas have. I still think that's impressive for the young driver.
Well, and here's another question that kind of ties into the other one. And I could ask it in a couple different ways. Can Tyler Reddick regain his points advantage? Or, where's Denny? Is Denny Hamlin going to gain? Is he going to take over the points lead?
I feel like this race was a very solid one from Hamlin. All Hamlin had to do was just not bleed too many points at the road courses, and he actually gained some on Reddick. So good run there. If he just does the same at Sonoma and just maintains it a little bit, I think Hamlin can definitely really catch him once we start coming back to the ovals. But it's up to Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick just needs to kick up the gears if he wants to keep that lead.
Okay, Jake?
I actually think Reddick will have a better chance than most people are giving him credit for, because, like, we expect Denny Hamlin to win Pocono. He won Michigan last year. I think Nashville, he just was really good. But, like, we get back, we're both saying, oh, yeah, Reddick's got to rebound at San Diego and Sonoma, or, like, he's screwed. I don't think so, because, like, let's think about the pure mile and a half. So remember, Nashville's a mile and a third, concrete, a little different. The mile and a half's, Reddick he's been running better, and on the odd occasions equal to. Like Texas, he ran similar to Hamlin most of the day. And Las Vegas, he was trading the lead with Hamlin. So I think, like, the North Wilkesboro during the All-Star race, like, Hamlin hasn't run, like, insanely well. Denny Hamlin really hasn't run too well in New Hampshire. Like, when I'm saying too well, I mean he hasn't been running, like, first or top three. So I think it'll actually be really close. I think it's just going to be band for band. I think we could get to a point where, like, as long as Denny doesn't blow up this weekend or either of them blow up, I think the rest of the year could just be, like, switching every single race with these two.
It makes you wonder. It's really hard to keep up that kind of momentum for an entire year, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's talk about SVG's dominance ending in disaster. All eyes were on Shane Van Gisbergen after he captured the pole position and looked every bit the road course favorite early on in the race. However, a major multi-car incident ended his chances and turned the race upside down. The crash eliminated one of the strongest contenders and opened the door for several unexpected players to emerge. So is Shane Van Gisbergen still the favorite heading into Sonoma this coming weekend, despite the Sunday disappointment this weekend?
I think he absolutely still is the favorite coming into Sonoma. Austin Hill doesn't judge that or misjudge that corner. SVG could very well have been further into the chase. It was kind of a disastrous points day for SVG because he didn't stay out for stage points pretty much because he was focused on trying to get the win. And we look at these road courses as ways for SVG to kind of pad his points gap coming into the chase. And he lost. You can't lose points as SVG on these street courses. And that wreck wasn't his fault. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate for him. And he's going to have to – the pressure is on for him to win at Sonoma.
Okay, I think so too. Jake?
Yeah, I don't know why we're trying to blame that wreck on Austin Hill. I think people are just trying to blame it on them because they're a blue-collar team. They're just picking on a blue-collar team. No, but on a real note, yeah, that's all Austin Hill's fault. I made that clear. But, that shouldn't affect SVG. Still going to be favored everywhere. I think the one problem we as fans run into is, we pencil in SVG, forgetting that, Austin Hills of the world can happen, right? We forget that unforeseen stuff. We forget the Chicago Street Race 2024.
2024. I talked about it in that fantasy report that anything can happen. That SVG was leading that race and he got cleaned out, finished dead last.
Yeah, so I think he should still be the favorite, but we have to find that line between he's the favorite, but don't pencil him in till next 2 weeks, back-to-back road courses. Oh, no, SVG is going to win because, as we see, anything can happen. Probably a little less unlikely at Sonoma, I will say. I mean, a lot of runoff from there, and should be able to get some pretty good leads. But, yeah, he's got to be still the favorite.
Okay. Reed, did you have anything to say there?
No, I definitely agree. I am more eager to pencil SVG in though, because I feel like he really is just so good, and the way he wins in dominant fashion just makes it so hard to want to pick anybody else to win. But Jamie had a question about Haas Factory Team. Could Haas Factory Team get one of the up and coming drivers in the Chevy pipeline and drop Cole Custer? And what I have to say about that is I think that's a hard no, because Gene Haas, he has not only retained Custer for the Cup Series, but he's transitioned the team to Chevrolet with the Alliance for Hendrick Motorsports. And while they do have guys like Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, who I know would love to go Cup racing, Custer's kind of essentially part of the ownership family, with his father, Joe, being the president of the Haas Factory Team. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
Watching Jimmy Johnson lead in the Coronado truck race was a cool blast from the past. Well, a lot of people really enjoyed that. Jamie says SVG is the favorite, but Connor will break through with his first win, joining the other first-time winners this year. And I hope that happens because he's so down right now on his bad luck. Hunter says, I wish NASCAR didn't allow Hill to run in both series. They let JJ because he's experienced, and Hill ruined SVG and plenty of others' chances. Given the circumstances, that's why the reason why he raced. So he did kind of have a huge impact on that race, no doubt about it. And then SVG was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So were other racers this past weekend getting slammed up against the wall. And then Hunter SVG went to go through wide, backed out, being safe, but couldn't evade Hill when he messed up. Yeah, it's one of those accordion type things. He slows up because of the curb, and then the people behind him don't realize it, and they're still going at full speed. Jamie says he went too fast. So, and then by the time they do see it, there's a little reaction time.
I think
So-
Jake's got something to say about the
Like
Go ahead,
Austin
Jake.
Hill.
like Hunter's talking about why they would let Hill run both races. We all know why he's racing in the Cup race. Like, what are they supposed to say? Hey, you can only race the O'Reilly race, or you have to choose between the two. Like we all know. Like, it's not like he was just like a normal O'Reilly. It wasn't like he just raced in the Cup race for fun, like it used like with last year.
They're still going for owners' points.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. Like, we all know why he's running full time in Cup now, right? And
Mhm.
the only other exception was Brent Cruz. Like, what's JGR supposed to do? Like, are you gonna have the same objection with like JGR and Brent Cruz? But we all know why, because of Christopher Bell's wrist. So I think, like, if that was any other driver, I would 100% agree. But like in the case of Austin Hill, like is NASCAR really supposed to say, hey, you got to pick between one or the other? And like,
Yeah.
who's RCR gonna put in the Cup car? Like,
You also don't want to put RCR in that position because drivers have sponsor obligations, and it's especially for a
right.
team like RCR that has a lot of like nicotine, adult beverage, kind of adult sponsors. It's hard to find a good driver fit. I mean, they said that's the reason they couldn't get Jesse Love to run that Charlotte race. I don't know if that's true, but they say it's important to them, and I think NASCAR, who's already kind of on thin ice with Richard Childress, I think given the circumstances, you have to let Austin Hill race.
yeah, imagine how bad that would have looked if they like flat out said, yeah, Austin Hill can't race the Cup race because he's
Exactly.
O'Reilly.
Yeah. Okay. So we covered the Fiji question. Coronado Street Course delivers instant mayhem. Is mayhem part of the attract factor for this street course race?
Absolutely. I think, gosh, because we saw two big accidents in both the races that really put a dent in that same wall pretty much. I think it could kind of make a name for itself if it ever came back because of that because of that kind of tricky turn. I think it does. I think it leads to more action and creates more opportunities for drivers like Corey Heim to come and take an upset victory. And while it's unfortunate, because wrecks are fun, but it's not fun, when guys are cleaned out when it's not of their fault. But that's always been a part of NASCAR.
Okay, Jake.
Like, I think we don't like to see those wrecks and stuff. And let's be honest, that wreck, if that wreck doesn't happen, I mean, SVG was toying with the field at the start. You could tell he was letting them by.
Yeah, he was like letting them by.
Like that 10-second lead behind would have probably been blown out of the water by SVG guarding some like crazy strategy or something. And even when we see the strategy play out like it did Watkins Glen, SVG still chases him down. I think with what the race was, like marketing that Southern California area, getting a lot of new fans, I think that wreck in the Cup race, I think that probably made it a lot better for other people. Like, what do you think would have got more fans? Seeing Corey Heim, battle out with Tyler Reddick, and at the end, we could have been a little bit closer. That's still a good battle. Or watching SVG win by, what was it at Mexico City, 37 seconds?
Yeah, it was 16 or something like that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying there, but I don't know. I just think that
I'm sorry.
SVG would have put on a good show. I think he could have if he had had the chance.
I forgot the Mexico is 16 seconds. I was thinking SVG ran an iRacing race at Coronado and won by 37 seconds, and it was like a 5-lap race or something.
Wow. Okay. So you both had a chance to respond to that one, right?
Yep.
Okay, tire strategy becomes a deciding factor. NASCAR increases the tire allotment for the drivers over the weekend. But it seems to me that Corey's Heim team illustrated the balance between having track position and new tires. A lot of teams seem to be struggling with that. Do I give up the track position to get new tires? Do I try to run this on old tires? What do I do? They gave them extra tires so nobody had to worry about it. But I think Corey Heim put on a clinic. What do you
Yeah,
guys think?
I think that whole 2311 race team put up, like, on all of their cars, very good strategy. I think, because it's not just about the driver and the cars, it's also about, what kind of calls the crew chief and the team can make. And I think they made the right ones up and all the way until the end. I liked Larson's strategy, but that caution there for Stenhouse made it pretty difficult at the end for him. But I think Larson may have been the guy to beat if Corey Heim couldn't catch up, which he very likely could have, because he did before that last pit stop. Zane Smith, shout out to Zane Smith, fourth place.
Yes.
That team makes very aggressive strategies, especially when it comes to tire pressures and stuff like that. So very good for them. I think there is a ton of aspects of tire strategy that we could get into, but it would take hours. But 23 2311, they definitely had the best strategy. I was a little disappointed with Team Penske strategy. They did not play the race very well. That's all what it comes down to. It's a strategy.
Yep.
These road courses are all about strategy.
Jake?
I think Corey Heim is just like wise beyond his years in tire saving. Like let's think back to Charlotte Roval last fall. Brent Cruz was leading so many laps, late race caution. I mean, Brent had a huge lead. Corey Heim doesn't stay out, or Corey Heim stays out. Brent Cruz pits, gets new tires, and Corey Heim saved his tires so well, he still wins by a few seconds. I mean, we saw it in the Truck Series. It's no surprise here. I mean, who was he behind? When he was behind Reddick, they were talking about him laying back, saving his stuff. They were talking about Bubba Wallace laying back, saving his stuff. Then they talked about around 5 to go. Bubba started to really push hard. He wasn't gaining on Heim. He was losing on Corey Heim, like by a mile, and they both saved for about the same amount of time. Corey Heim he's a pro at it.
He's a pro. Okay. RFK Racing shows up on the street course. Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece. What about those guys? Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece both showed race-winning speed. They captured a stage victory and led during the final stage, while Buescher recovered from an early spin to finish sixth. Although neither driver reached victory, RFK Racing demonstrated it can be a contender on road courses, street courses, intermediates, and short tracks alike.
Yep, another tough result for Brad Keselowski. Again, just cannot catch a break whatsoever. But as a team owner, he's got to be happy about the speed that his car showed. I was so surprised with Ryan Preece. I've never really taken him to be a road course ringer at all. I'm probably not seeing or haven't looked at any of his past results, but I gotta see what I had him ranked into the week. I can check real quick, but I was super impressed with the speed that 60 car showed, especially on the short runs. Just here, let's see where I had him. I'm actually very curious. I had him ranked 30th coming into the weekend. I was not high enough on Ryan Preece as I should be. And Chris Buescher, he's always I had him ranked 6th, finished 6th, so can't be too mad about that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's always kind of there at those road courses. He's got to win at Watkins Glen. Never count out Chris Buescher. He's always just so steady and consistent, even when he spins out in front of the field.
Okay. We've already covered, was Coronado a success? I think we all agree that it is. and we covered the questions that go along with that. Let's go to some additional topics. Brent Cruz in for Christopher Bell. They had Brandon Jones on standby last week, Brent Cruz on standby this week. Is he going to be on standby again at Sonoma? I'm guessing maybe so.
I think so.
Sorry,
you can go, Jake.
Brent Cruz in an interview after the race, they asked him, and he said he thinks that Bell. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know, but he said that Cruz said that he thinks Bell will be fine next week at Sonoma. Cruz had shoulder surgery over the winter, and he was talking about how he goes, yeah, the guys like the JGR and the medical they have to help with them. He goes, yeah, I mean, there's a chance I might be back up. He goes, yeah, I think Bell. He was talking about how he thinks Bell should be fine for them. But if they have a backup, I would guess it would be Cruz. But Cruz seemed the way he was talking, it seemed like he didn't think that they were going to need one next week.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good news. Reed?
Yeah, I what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about Brent Cruz in for Christopher Bell. Do you think he'll be there next week?
Yeah, I think I know. I don't know. I don't think you can go from qualifying 36 to all of a sudden kind of moderately competitive again. I think if you're Joe Gibbs, you just do the same thing you did this week so Bell can get the points. Hopefully, I wonder what Ryan Truex is doing these days. If Brent Cruz doesn't do it, maybe bring on Ryan Truex.
It'd be a good one to do.
You're shaking your head there. What do you think about that, Jake?
We just get Brent Cruz. I was talking about what Brent said. I hope they put Brent in. He got 5 laps. He said he felt comfortable in the car. Ryan Truex ran 35th at Mexico when he filled in for Denny Hamlin. What is Ryan Truex doing these days? I think
he is the Joe Gibbs Racing reserve driver. So that's why I figured they were gonna put him in over Cruz and Brandon Jones before that announcement came out.
He must not be too high on their list anymore if they put Brandon Jones over him. I hope they put Cruz in. I mean, he definitely could use the seat time experience. I think he could legit be more competitive than Ryan Truex, in my opinion.
There you go. Martin Truex was pretty good on the road courses, actually.
Oh, we're talking about Ryan Truex, not Martin Truex.
Oh, okay. Okay. No announcement yet regarding Cindric's seat, Team Penske in 27. Is that seat safe? No word yet. Either way.
So long term, I don't think it is because we got news that Jesse Love is going to the 21, and recently Team Penske has kind of treated that whole team as kind of a developmental satellite team. So they could be warming up that 2 seat for Jesse Love here in the future. I think Austin Cindric is definitely on the hot seat. I think he'll be okay for 2027, but after that, who knows?
We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Hunter says they need to get rid of those sponsors then because it holds back tremendously.
He's referring to RCR, I believe.
Yeah. Cole Trickle, how many spotters per car were used at Coronado? They could have spotted them from the aircraft carrier's crow's nest, maybe. I know they were up on that one platform.
Did you guys see there was the LA bus somethings that were all around the track?
Yeah.
The spotters were about 20 feet above the track. How they said they have blind spots? Maybe there's a few feet, in 12A, 12B they can't see. The bus that was on the bend from 4 to 5, you can't even see that whole corner. But yes, they were on little buses. There's 4 different spotters. The ones on the front straightaway, there's a platform above above the pit area. But yeah, they were just on buses about 20 feet above ground. They never talked about it. I'm just they'd pan the camera. I'm like, oh my gosh, those are the spotters.
I saw it. You're right, and then I forgot about it. But,
I liked seeing them all move as one of those cars comes spinning, and they all just went for a second.
Okay, Hunter says Hosfar got spun out, but he deserved it. The hurricane wrecked just about everyone and can't forget how he screwed over Heim in the truck championship race in 2023.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Yeah, he's kind of bitter about that. Sewer lid at Coronado cursed made yep, we talked about that too. NASCAR really needs to do something there. And Hunter says at one point 2311 was running 1, 2, 3, and 5. Yeah, they had all their cars up there at certain points of the race. It was fun to watch, no doubt. All right, getting back to our schedule here. I think we're just about on. Let's see, another topic. Prime Video says there's a possibility they could be doing more races. I know we've talked about this quite a lot. If you have Prime, everybody likes it. If you don't have Prime, you don't want to pay for it at this point. I think what Prime needs to do is have some kind of a graduated thing where if somebody just wants the Prime Video, they pay a lower price and get Prime Video without the Amazon, because a lot of people don't want the Amazon shipping.
I know it could be inaccessible to some fans, but I don't know. I would be willing to pay a bit of a, if I was a fan, I already have Prime, but I feel like if I was a fan that didn't, I'd be willing to spend that money just because I'm so disillusioned with the Fox coverage of NASCAR. It is so,
and the Prime coverage is so good.
It really is. I love the pre-race. I love the post-race. That's something that Fox does not even do. So I think, God, I just love Prime on NASCAR so much.
Post-race is like, it's one of my favorite things. Like
yes.
And like the people like won't buy Prime. Like I was skeptical. I was like, yes, I was more like the older fans that was really skeptical, didn't want, was like really worried about like we were changing too much. I was 15 thinking about this too, but it was kind of dumb. But like at least it's worth it. At least we're not paying that for like, at least it's not Fox. But like the same people complain about not like they're not gonna pay for Prime, but you'll pay a $200 cable subscription to watch Mike Joy, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer talk about how there's Frosties hidden under Ross Chastain's car at Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like you'll pay $200 for cable for that. Like the more like I think about it, the more like petty the cases about like not getting Prime. Like the most you have to pay is $10 because it should be the first month free, and then you'll have that one race. So it'd be San Diego would be when like the subscription actually kicks in, and you pay $10 for what be almost like 30 hours of coverage, if not more than that, and plus all like the different stuff they do, like with NASCAR, the Ryan Blaney undercover thing, like the San Diego mini movie.
That's crazy. That's so crazy too.
The Rowdy, like you have all this like different, the in the blink of the eye. That's just 5 I named like at the top of my head that Prime offers. I was like, you can do all that in just the month that you have to pay for, and then you get rid of it and do the same thing next year. I don't think it's that bad of a deal.
Okay, Cole Trickle says, I asked about the spotters because, there were too many blind spots for the spotters, and thus there could have been less wrecks if there was no blind spots for the spotters. You know, I'm sure on road courses, they always have more than one spotter, and they have them strategically placed where they can see the majority of the track. And I don't think this weekend was any exception to that. I think they had quite a few. Most
teams had 2 to 4, but I did hear to his point that a lot of the teams were asking if they could actually have 8 to 10 just because of how many blind spots there were. So I can understand it from that perspective.
I don't know if it would have caused like less wrecks though, because there wasn't the blind spot. The biggest one was 12A and 12B, and really the only incidents we saw there were Carson Kvapil and the Taylor Gray thing. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I think Taylor Gray just wiped him out. But all the wrecks, the big wrecks happened on the exit of 16 in the truck race, which is driver problem that has nothing to do with the spotter. And then like going into turn 2, they had spotters right on the edge there, from next to the pits looking down there. I don't know if I agree that they could have used more spotters. I'm sorry, like wrecks. Like there's probably a few spins that happened because of it. but like flat out like the wrecks and stuff that caused the cautions. I don't know if those were all because of like not having a spotter. Like Sam Mayer having a spotter more strategically placed wouldn't have cost him to not drill the inside wall. Austin Hill having a better spotter wouldn't have changed him not knowing how to drive a NASCAR. Like,
that's true.
I think it would have helped the spins, not as much like the overall like wrecks.
Okay, Reed, you have any comment there?
No, I totally agree with Jake there. I just find the point about spotters pretty interesting.
Okay. Some of these other topics that I have on here are just more or less news items. I'll let you choose which ones you want to talk about. Gazowski says other teams did show some interest in Chris Buescher, but he ended up re-signing with RFK. And he said loyalty was key in his decision. Almendinger says he's returning to Kaulig Racing in 2027. Ben Kennedy was in attendance this weekend, and he gave kind of a state of the business thing. NASCAR exploring, he did say that NASCAR is exploring future street course opportunities. We have our in-season challenges starting, and I'll tell you some more about that. We've got things posted on the Facebook page as well as over at bamforracing.com. If you want to pick up your bracket and fill it out, it has to be returned by Saturday. I believe that is the 27th. It has to be returned by Saturday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then you can be in the running for the bragging rights. And you'll see on the chart that they have for the bracket, at the bottom, it gives how many points you get for the different positions. So check it out if you want to participate in the in-season challenge. We'll just leave that as that. And Kyle Larson is going to be on the cover of the NASCAR 26 game that's going to be coming out soon. So a lot of news items in that one. Jake, you want to start?
Like Kyle Larson, like the video game cover, it means a lot seeing there's actually not going to be a physical cover of it again. They could change it every day. I don't think it would make too much of a difference. Yeah, only thing that's running through my mind is I want to talk about Noah so bad. That's just I
think we can talk about Noah pretty briefly.
Yeah, did you guys watch like the interviews after
Yeah.
The Noah going
go ahead and bring it up.
Yeah, so I rewatched their onboards for that whole entire ordeal.
I did today.
Yeah. It took me a long time. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So it started. What I saw on lap 25 was going into 12A, that kind of really slow left-hander. Noah kind of went low on him, like a little bit. Like I wouldn't call it a block. I would more just call it getting it. Like it wasn't like a block, like he's shutting the door on him. More just like getting his way, making sure he couldn't dive bomb him into the inside there. And 91 gives him a good shot, and it was weird. He kind of like moves Noah, like it turns Noah that way, and then he like almost gets on his right rear, and almost right hooks him like against the like on the opposite direction of the turn. And then coming out of the corner, Noah saves it. And then coming out of the corner, Noah kind of runs him low. Like I said, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, right. And then you saw, sorry, I have notes on it. And then they kind of roughed each other up, like just kind of going back and forth, like the rest of the lap. And the Magnussen passes Gregson, entering the final chicane. And Greg, like kind of like when you get to like here on the chicane, Gregson kind of gets to his right rear. And he moves the 91 to the left of the track, causing him to check up. Gregson gets the spot. And then Magnussen was talking about Gregson like doing a bunch on our caution. I didn't see a whole lot wrong on our caution. Like they were kind of just messing. It didn't look like egregious. It didn't look like there was much contact. And then I'll say lap 38. I don't care what way you want to spin this. Magnussen dumped Noah Gregson. He just dumped him. And like what happened to everyone loving Noah Gregson? Like years he was just, oh yeah, Noah Gregson's going to win the fan vote. And literally, I have not found a comment online of someone defending Noah Gregson. I was going, oh yeah, so there's a lot nice job judging, Noah. You run 30th every week. That's no excuse for Magnussen just to dump him. Like, I mean, he did. Like, Prime didn't really have like the best angle of it from the other way, but you can look at the onboard. Oh my gosh, he like Magnussen was almost in the outside wall, and Noah was still outside him. And he was on his right rear, and it just dumped him. And the interview was so corny. Oh my gosh,
Well, he did that in the Xfinity series too.
Yeah, the minute 40 seconds long of like it was like an AI, like it was like if you asked AI, hey, make an argument, and it was Noah going, why did you wreck me? And Magnussen going, just F off, mate. And it was just it's all funny because it was running for 30th. That's the funniest thing.
So I actually have a different take on this. I also watched the onboard. So yeah, Noah did slow up in that turn. Magnussen got into him initially. That's kind of where the onboard started. I don't think Magnussen was upset with that because Magnussen was definitely a lot faster than Noah. And the thing that Magnussen was upset about was Noah's kind of going all over the place to block his runs, and he's frustrated because he was blocking him real hard for 32nd place when Magnussen had the faster car. NASCAR talks about self-policing, and I don't have an issue with what Magnussen did at all, actually. Yeah, he dumped him. I don't have an issue with it. He passed him cleanly in the chicane, and then Noah, much slower than him, got into him again. So Magnussen was like, all right. And I wrote down a couple things real quick just to show my point. Kevin Magnussen is the only F1 driver in the last 10 years to miss a race due to suspension for aggressive driving. So I don't think Gragson knew who he was messing with. And Gragson's best lap was 137.46, and Magnussen ran the best lap of the race at 132.49, a delta of over 5 seconds. So I feel like Magnussen was entirely justified in doing that. That's my take.
I like that. I like that. Literally the only thing is I just don't like fully like he wrecked him. He like didn't just double. He wrecked him. Like I would have been okay. Like stay there side by side in that corner if Magnussen doored him. Even just like hit Noah into the wall. Right, he would have gotten the run off the corner. They would never see each other again. Noah was so much slower. Like I think just like dumping him like that. Like let's think about Byron and was it Hamlin or was it Elliott and Hamlin? Like NASCAR, about the like I know it's much smaller or much slower, and like it's like similar to the Austin Cindric incident at Coda 2 years ago.
Yeah,
like similar speeds of that. Like NASCAR didn't, but there's a real question. Like, will NASCAR fine Austin Cindric for that? Like, I don't
they gave him a 50-point penalty, so it was pretty.
I mean, that's a right.
They can't do much with Magnussen because he's part time, and that might be his only race. But I would love to see. Listen, I would love to see Magnussen back in NASCAR just because he's a huge personality, and he's never been he said in an interview he's never been in a confrontation with another driver like that, and I don't think he cared. I think he enjoyed it.
He looked so happy. Like, and then like I was listening to like both their interviews after it. Magnussen was just laughing. He's like, yeah, I know how this NASCAR stuff works, and Noah was just pissed. I just find it so crazy how the whole world turned on Noah out of nowhere. Like, I'm not the biggest Noah fan.
Yeah, I will say that.
It's like I was expecting the comments to be like, kind of 50-50, like people supporting Max and other people like, yeah, Noah just got dumped. And I'm not joking with you. Every single comment is just like, Noah's a crybaby. Like, this is like, I feel bad for Noah now because, like, his career about at front row, and now he has no, like, fan backing, which is just crazy.
All right.
Okay, Cole Trickle says, I just go to a sports bar and watch the races. It's way cheaper that way. Forget paying the cable and subscriptions to watch races. Good idea. I know a lot of people who do that. And then he says, Kyle Busch should be on the video game cover in remembrance of him. That would have been kind of cool, but kind of eerie too.
I think it was too early. Like they must they didn't come up with that cover a few days ago. They must have had that thing in there for months.
Yeah,
If
that's
they
true.
a little too quick. Like if they came out with how they come out with like a deluxe edition or something like usually a month or so after, like I think that would be okay to like put him in it or just do it. I think next year it would be fine. And then again, it's a cover to a game that doesn't sell hard copies, so does it really matter a whole lot?
Okay, anything else you guys wanted to talk about that's on our list there?
I liked Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski talking about loyalty. I think that's one of the biggest things that's gotten Chris Buescher so far into his career. And honestly, even if he could go to a place like the 48 car for a year, replacing Alex Bowman, I think he would just be warming up that seat for like a Connor Zilisch or a Corey Day, most likely Corey Day, but Connor Zilisch has been name dropped in that ride for a few times. So I think the best move for Chris Buescher is just to stay with that RFK Racing number 17. He's had success there, and I don't think he can find a comparative amount of success anywhere else.
Also, like if you went to the 48 for a year, yeah, it might be a better ride. You also risk I went to the 48 for a year. Like, okay, RFK, are you going to welcome me back?
Exactly.
Like
you burn that bridge.
Yeah, you're risking a lot doing that. I think he made a great decision. I think RFK is the best overall Ford team.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else for you, Jake?
Not that I can really think of. I don't know. I had a lot of fun this weekend, even if the races were really long and stuff. I was so excited. I felt bad for ARCA because I love like the ARCA Saturday nights. There's something about I'm not from the Midwest and I have never been to a Menards, but for some reason I get this like feeling of nostalgia when that Menards jingle comes on, or like when the Hers snacks, and literally it's like they have a monopoly over ARCA commercials. Every brand, right? You'll have a commercial, and then it'll go to ARCA, like found it with Menards. It's just something about like an ARCA Saturday night is just awesome. And I'm just sorry though. I'm not gonna watch that over the O'Reilly race, but I'm so excited for Elko because we've seen Elko can be really good. It was such a great weekend overall. I just wish I wish the ARCA race was a little bit later so we can watch like all four live. There's something about watching those ones live that just hit different.
It's a good point. Reed, anything more you wanted to say?
Shout out Ben Kennedy. I think he did a good, other than Watkins Glen and Dover, which I think are the two biggest blunders of this year for the schedule. I think he's done a great job expanding into other markets. For every Bowman Gray, you get into like Mexico City, which we did last year. So I really think it's great what they're doing over there right now.
I do too. I think Ben Kennedy's done a really fantastic job. And he was at the track this weekend and gave some really good updates. So with that, I think we're about done for tonight. I will say that I did put out a bits and pieces today. I put the link in the description. So if you want to hear what else we have on tap for this week, I would suggest you listen to the bits and pieces via the link that's in the description. And then other than that, I don't have much more to say. I'm looking forward to the racing at Sonoma and moving on to there. And are you guys doing anything special over the weekend other than watching races? Because that's what I'm going to be doing.
Probably just watching races. That's about it.
Jake, are you going to a track?
No, I'm not going to Sonoma. No. There's no like modified races or anything. Oh, there might be. There, one just got postponed. So I think the next race, I'm going to Lime Rock and then North Wilkesboro. And I'll try to get to a few more modified races in there. And excited for Sonoma and Elko. I'm probably more excited for Elko than every other race. And I can't believe I just said that, but I'm excited for it.
Okay. Well, it should be some good racing. Okay. Last. So, Reed, you doing anything special over the weekend?
No, just watching races. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll have out an article about Trackhouse's racing or Trackhouse Racing's performance at the Coronado Street Course, and maybe Wednesday, Thursday, I'll have a feature about Corey Heim. So check out fanfareracing.com. Stay tuned for those articles.
Yes, and yeah, I enjoyed the articles you put out with the drivers that were racing in the Truck Series race this past week over at fanfareracing.com. So thank you for that, and I'll look forward to seeing the new ones coming out. And we will be back next Monday night with our NASCAR Hot Topic Sound Off here at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We're trying to figure out how to keep the fan interaction and get this show closer to 2 hours instead of 3 or 4 hours. It's tough to do, but we don't want to.
We need a manager.
We need somebody managing all of that behind the scenes. Yes. Okay, so unless you guys have something more to say, I think that's pretty much it for tonight.
Just thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Well,
nice
we're
meeting
glad
you.
that you were here.
Yeah, you've been. I know you've probably been a part of Fan for Racing, like the whole thing, longer than I have. I've just got here, so.
He was one of the first, even last year when we first started here.
I'll never forget. I was like, it was after like the Lime Rock race, and I was like, on like a Monday, like in this exact room, I was like, oh, I want to find out if anyone does like ARCA reviews or something. And I saw you guys did the ARCA preview, and I was like, oh, they're live right now. I wonder what's going on. I hopped in, and I saw like the viewer pop to 1. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one in here. And I was like, so I started listening. I was like, oh my god, like how that? I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was fake, because you guys only had 1 viewer, and I was like they're like good. I'm like, they're actually like intelligent. They're like having like, I was like, this has got to be. I must be watching like a rerun or something. I was like, there's no way. This is really nice. Typed something in the chat, and then you popped up. And you popped up on the screen. I'm like, oh my gosh, how the heck they only have 1? I was like, and I've tried to watch it I feel like I've done almost every single week since, unless I have to hit the hay early or something like that.
Right. So yeah, that was really cool. And then I really appreciated too. You made a comment that I know how much time it takes to put these shows on, and you're doing a lot of shows. So I really appreciated that comment, because a lot of people don't realize how much effort does go in behind the scenes. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad we were able to have you on the show today. So if you want to know what else we're doing this week, I think I said that we were going to be interviewing Chris Crichton tomorrow. That might happen later this week instead of on Tuesday. And when I talked to Sal earlier today, he wasn't quite sure if he would have an interview or not. So I'm not sure if we'll have an interview out tomorrow or not. But Wednesday, we're hoping to have Race Chat Live. But that is kind of on an iffy side right now. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. I just do want to remind everybody that the in-season challenge bracket is up at fanforracing.com, as well as the Facebook page. If you want to take part in that, that needs to be filled out by 11:30 p.m. Eastern time on this Saturday night, if you want to participate in it. But you have to complete the entire bracket, and then Taz will keep track of everything for us throughout the remainder of the in-season challenge. And then I have the details over at fanforracing.com as well, if you want to know the details of how it works. And then Reed is going to help me with the previews this week, because Jay is on vacation. So he and I are going to start working on the previews probably Wednesday night. And then those will come out on Thursday and Friday. And then hopefully we'll be back with the fantasy report on Friday morning. We'll put it out on Friday afternoon. Yep. So that's pretty much the rest of the schedule. And we hope you guys enjoyed tonight. That weekend that was at the Naval Base Coronado. The racing may have been unpredictable, but one thing became clear. History wasn't the only thing being made at Coronado. Several drivers and teams may have fundamentally changed the direction of their seasons. Some left Coronado with momentum, confidence, and perhaps a clearer path toward championship contention. Others left with damaged race cars, lost points, and difficult questions that need answers in the weeks ahead. As NASCAR continues to evolve and explore new venues, Coronado delivered exactly what fans hoped for from the first time event. Memorable moments, compelling storylines, and plenty of debate long after the checkered flag. Now we want to hear from you. Who do you think changed their season the most this weekend, and which performance impressed you the most? Should Coronado become a permanent stop on the NASCAR schedule? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to like this video, subscribe to Fan for Racing Radio, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of Hot Topic Sound Off, our Race Chat Live, our race previews, fantasy reports, and exclusive interviews throughout the season. For all of us here at Fan for Racing Radio, thank you for joining us. Until the next time, stay safe, enjoy the racing, and we'll see you right here on Fan for Racing Radio. Good night, everybody.